brother. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother.
Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show. The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother. This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll ass. I want to kill myself. If I think it sucks, I tell you.
The Joe Cronin Show.
Cena is Hollywood Satan.
Cena's Hollywood Satan, everybody. We're starting this baby up in about 5 minutes, but we got to get the likes up. Hit that like button. Let's see them likes. Good Lord. 60 people? What is going on? We can't start this up until there's like 150 people in here. It's crazy. 60 people? What is going on? Let's go get those likes up, baby. Let's get them all. Hit them likes, baby. Let's go. Adrenaline in my soul, every thought out of control. Do it all to get them off their feet. Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain lights go out, I'm home. Whoa, and my father said when I was younger, hard times bring better men. You took it all away, I gave it all away. Can take my freedom, I'm here to change the game, I've been made of it. I built my kingdom, now you bow to me. You took my dreams but not my name. You'll follow me until the end. I am now crying loud. Tear this roof off of the town. Gonna give them a cry they came to see. I'm crying now, they're on their toes, ready for me to start the show. Out the curtain lights go up, I'm home. Whoa, and my father said I was younger, hard times bring better men. I took it all away, I gave it all away. Take my freedom, here to change the game, I've been made of it. I built my kingdom, now you bow to me. You took my dreams but not my name. You follow me until the end, and now I'm crying. I can't stop crying. You tried to tell me not to cry. Now I'm crying.
That's right, sometimes Cody Rhodes just needs a good cry. And everybody loves it, to be honest. I think, to be honest, everybody loves a good cry. And I think Cody Rhodes gives us a cry. And I think people love it. I think people love watching Cody cry, Cody crybabies. The Rock likes talking about the Cody crybabies. The people like being crybabies. I mean, really, everybody's a crybaby now in the real world anyway, right? So that's why we all like to cry her. I mean, listen, cry away, brother. Cry away, because people love a good cry now. Whether they're crying about the world, their lives, they're crying about stuff that happened on TV, they're crying about their bills, everything they owe, the money we all owe, the government, the planet's falling apart, the systems are all breaking down. We're about to be Rome, the fall of Rome here in the United States. I mean, listen, why not? Why wouldn't you enjoy it? Why not enjoy a good cry from Cody? Why not be a Cody crybaby like everybody else? Fuck it. You know, bring it on. Real quickly, we're going to ease into this show very quietly and carefully because there's only 92 people here, and that, quite frankly, pisses me off. But let me put it on Patreon. Me and Jake did a podcast. It is up now on Patreon. We talked about a lot of things, and we answered all of your questions on Patreon. If you guys asked a question on Patreon, it did get answered. So if you asked a question, you're wondering if it was going to be answered, it's been answered. Me and Jake put on a nice little podcast, the Jake and Joe podcast. It's back, and it's on Patreon. Go check it out. It's great. We talked about potentially releasing a T-shirt and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. It's all there. He did address the situation with John Cena. So real quick, I'll give you a little taste of that. If you want to hear the whole 40 minutes, it's up on Patreon right now. You can download it, check it out, whatever. I put it in the chat so you guys can see it there. So go give it a listen if you haven't. Are you excited? The Jake and Joe podcast is up now. Some people said what? Some people said no. But 56% of you, which is the overall, said it's getting large. And that can only be that it's a good thing, right? So here's a little bit of what Jake said on that podcast about John Cena in this situation. Or, oh, shit, I might have lost the queue up. What the fuck? We were saying something. Oh, I lost it. Oh, man, I had it queued up. Lead with it, but now I forget. Oh, maybe I do have it. No, I had it queued up and I lost it. My bad. Shit.
Much dedication it takes.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. We got it right here.
Back in there, but I'm being able to be that.
Listen to a little bit of this.
Athletic and defined is insane.
Okay. By the way, I think Jake DeMarco, I didn't know this, but I think he's now become gay. I'm not sure, which is fine. That's great. But listen to this. This is a very, I feel like this is concerning, but listen to this.
You know, and it's like, all right, it's still one of the classics to me. And the action's great, the cheesiness of it, but yet the drama, I love it. It's just, it's so quotable. Just like, you know, The Rock and trying to think what other movies I really love. Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys.
Yeah.
That was great too. But yeah, you know, Starship Troopers holds a certain fond memory in my heart. And this game is just that in video game form. So I think you'll love it.
I want to check it out. And the last time I don't download a lot of stuff on Steam, but because I'm playing Last Epoch, oh, here comes the part. This is the part I was looking for. I'm sorry. We got it, boys. I guess I've downloaded that on Steam. And so
yeah, I felt dirty, Joe. I felt so disgusting because I had to make a PlayStation ID to play it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's weird.
I felt like a traitor.
You know what I feel disgusting is looking at John Cena's naked Oscar body.
Oh my God!
By the way,
I actually saw the behind the scenes of it where he's got just a Ken kind of smock on that covers his junk. But I mean, look at him. That is a specimen of a freaking man. Like, he has got just an insane body still. The fact that he's able to keep up that kind of discipline, regimen, not wrestling full time, and still being able to be that athletic and defined is insane.
Okay, let's take it easy here. This is
I was trying to go back. I was through physical therapy and rehab and all that kind of stuff. I was back.
See, I think Jake might be into guys, but anyway, that is available right now on Patreon. I'm going to plug it right now. Jake and Joe podcast. It's back. If you want to show us support, show Jake some support. I am curious to see the numbers of how many downloads and how many listens that gets on Patreon. I know we have 130 patrons right now. So thank you guys for 130 patrons, but go give that a listen. There's the link for it in the chat. Become a patron for $1 a month, but I recommend $5. That gets you everything. And don't forget all the other shows that are on Patreon that maybe you may not realize how much I do on Patreon. I don't know if some of the people out there don't know. So, I mean, there's so much stuff. There's the Final Frontier News, never heard before stuff. There's the hundreds of episodes of corrupted podcasts that are some of the most vulgar, crazy, like Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern type of stuff we've done. I mean, Jesse and Fish Lips Off the Rails. I mean, there's me, Morning Madness episodes, hundreds of those. Me and my wife, over 20 episodes of me and Leah doing a podcast together. Leah's Talk Spooky to Me. There's 3 episodes of that with her and Monica from back in the day. The Jake and Joe podcast, of course, all the old episodes going way back. After Dark podcast of me and Jesse. Note to Self episodes that I've done. And there's tons more that aren't listed on this picture. There's so much on Patreon. And Sith Negan is coming up on 5 years as a $100 patron, which is insane. So check that out. And, of course, just uploaded today, just now, the Jake and Joe podcast returned. 40 minutes of me and Jake. Check that out. And we also answered all the questions that people had on there. So John Cena got naked the other day in what people are calling a Hollywood satanic ritual, humiliation ritual, which I did think of that. Right when I saw it, I went, oh, here we go. The Rock did it in so many different things. People brought up The Rock. But I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here. And I know, listen, I understand that I do think that something's up with Hollywood and there's some Holly weird stuff going on and whatever else like that. I agree, and maybe people are just blowing it out of proportion. I leave the door open, man. I leave the door open that it could be anything, that anything could be going on. And I do think that Cena's into some weird stuff. He will do anything to make money or to be in movies. I don't know what that means. He will do anything. He will speak in Chinese and Mandarin. He'll do anything. He'll and now we know he'll shame himself. Although I don't know if you can call it shame, when you're like got a amazing physique, naked body and you're going out there showing it off. I mean, if anything, this might, it's weird. You could take this as humiliation ritual, but I don't know, man. I think of it more of a narcissism thing. Like, hey, I look so hot and I'm in such good shape. I'll go in front of everybody and and I'll be like naked because I'm that confident in myself, So I don't know if it's a humiliation ritual, and I did think that and tweet that, and I said that, but listen, I'm open to everything. Yes, there could be some Hollywood ritualistic, satanistic stuff here. That's how Lady Gaga got famous and everything. But I'm just saying, maybe it's just that he's doing a weird movie that's very bizarre. He dresses up like a female in the movie and stuff. I mean, I think just John Cena's a sick person who has no shame. But gotta love it though, So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just he's in a weird movie and they're advertising it. And people said, well, The Rock was humiliated in Tooth Fairy and all these other things. But, before The Rock did that, he did The Mummy. He wasn't humiliated in The Mummy. He wasn't humiliated in Doom. I mean, some people would say he was because the movie sucked, but I like the movie. I love Doom. I think Doom is one of my favorite stupid movies to watch. There's a list of dumb movies that I like to watch. Resident Evil, the first movie, that maybe one of the other ones, Doom, crazy stuff like that, like Escape from L.A., just really weird early 2000s, 90s crap action type of video game type movies. The first Mortal Kombat, I love the first Mortal Kombat. Probably better than all those that I just mentioned, but I like them, man. I think Doom was a nice little stupid movie. And so, he was, and then I think he did a couple other things, and then he did Tooth Fairy. So, I mean, wouldn't you do Tooth Fairy first if you had to do that? I don't know. But, I didn't see Ricky Stenicki yet. I just think it's an obvious, it's an advertisement. It's a ploy to get a stunt, to get some views. I mean, I don't know why you do it at the Oscars. I mean, what do the Oscars get now for ratings? You're like, hey, let's have you go naked on the Oscars to get views on Ricky Stenicki. Like, if you're going to do this, wouldn't you want to do it like at the Super Bowl? Or even on wrestling. Doesn't wrestling get more viewers? How many viewers does the Oscars get? What's the rating on... And listen, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Oscars gets 10 million. I don't know. But I just feel like the Oscars are just... Aren't they dead? The Oscars rating. I mean, one thing, this was the most talked about thing, I think, from the Oscars. So how could you argue against it? Was it a bad idea? I don't think so. Everybody saw this. Oh, bro, it drew 19 million viewers. The Oscars. The audience, 19 million people watched it. So this was this is a win. This is all anybody talked about for the most part. The image you saw everywhere. Dude, the image is so weird that I can't put it in the thumbnail because I am afraid I'll get hit for putting it in the thumbnail. Even though he's not naked, he's covering himself up. There's no reason why I can't use the real image in my thumbnail because he is covered up. But YouTube is so stupid, and I don't trust them so much that I chose this photo instead of a full shot because that's how dumb YouTube is. Fine. But I think something would happen. I think there'd be a problem, so I didn't do it. And again, like I said, for the people that are just jumping in now, that are just tuning in now, if you missed it, you've got to listen to the Jake and Joe podcast. It is up now, Patreon only, exclusive on Patreon. And so that's 40 minutes of bonus Jake and Joe. We talked about some games, movies, life. We answered the questions on Patreon. It was a nice re-entry into Jake and Joe. You guys are going to love it. Go listen to it. Download it now. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Download the Patreon app on your phones, tablets, your computer, whatever. Listen. And then there's hundreds and thousands of other podcasts that we've done with everybody and different people and different shows. It's all up there. You've never heard it before. It's not on YouTube. This is 8 years of content that is piled onto Patreon. It's unbelievable. You may find you like the Corrupted podcast. You may find you like the Aliens Talk with Final Frontier. I mean, there's just so much stuff on there. And now there's a new episode of Jake and Joe. Check it out. But if you for some reason you don't even have $1, you have not even $1 to become a patron a month, and you can't wait, Jake will be joining me tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere again. So Out of Nowhere returning again tomorrow night. We look forward to being with you guys live for that. Anyway, that being said, let me turn to the donos. Some people may have donated. I want to play those for you. And I'm going to put up a poll in the chat. Obviously, you guys should check out the Jake and Joe podcast, which is up on Patreon now. But let me go ahead and put a poll up about the John Cena thing. I want to see what people say about this. Did John Cena get Satan humiliation ritual? Did John Cena get put in a humiliation ritual? There we go. How about, was John Cena performing a humiliation ritual? A satanic. It's amazing how I can't type on here. Okay, we put the poll up now. We'll find out what you guys think. Was John Cena partaking in a pedo-wood? I'm sorry, I mean a Hollywood satanic humiliation ritual, or is he just not afraid to humiliate himself for a movie, a goofy movie that he wanted to help promote, and he promoted it to 19 million people the other night, and this was the most talked about thing anywhere. So it clearly worked. And I would think a humiliation would be more like a fat celebrity has to go out on stage and eat shit. You know, like that would be more like, this is more like a bragging narcissism exploit. You know, I feel like he's like, yeah, look at my body and I'm advertising a movie. I'm a narcissistic, you know, I'm just a self-absorbed, I'll do anything for clout actor guy who needs to be in the spotlight. Like, so, I mean, you could spin it in so many different ways, but at the same time, this is stuff that Hollywood people do. Like, I mean, look at Lady Gaga is a prime example, but there's so many other ones who got where they're going, and singers who say that they had to do stuff like this, and ritualistic parties and babies and kids and weird stuff. So I don't know. what do you believe? I don't know, but we're going to put up the poll and we're going to find out what you guys think about this because it's freaking Tuesday Night Rage and WWE stars are becoming Satanistic people. What? All right, well, just ask Mom. You can probably have it. And then make sure you brush your teeth after. One of my kids opened up the door and then came down here and then opened up my door and asked if he could have whipped cream on strawberries or something. And I told him to do what I do whenever I'm on the air. Ask Mom. Because that's what you do when you're on the air. You ask Mom. All right, let me go to the donations real quickly, which I'm afraid to go to because I don't know if there are any donations, to be honest. But I'm going to risk embarrassing myself and say I'm going to go to the donations, and they're either going to play or they're not going to play. I don't know. If you guys want to fund the show, you guys can use the donation button. Tomorrow night, like I said, Jake will be on here for out of nowhere. We're back at it again tomorrow night. Won't be as long as the last episode. Be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So, utilize that as big as you can, or as much as you can. I don't know why I said big. If you're in the chat, though, guys, please hit that like button, and I'm going to be reading the chat in just a few minutes. And if you guys want to drop a dono, we'll have someone be the top donator tonight. We'll see who ends up with the top spot. There we go. Top dog, we'll put him up there, like the Road Dog, baby. Friend of the show. He has a great podcast. The Road Dog, guys, you got to check him out. Oh, You Didn't Know podcast. A lot of people are sleeping on the Road Dogs podcast. Oh, You Didn't Know podcast. It's really good. Go give him a sub and listen to his stuff. And we all know that I love the Road Dog. And I love Jake DeMarco, and that's why you got to check out our podcast. It's on Patreon right now. Let's download it now. Okay, let's see if there's any donos, and we'll play them, and then we'll move on to some more stuff. We're gonna get back to the John Cena ritual poll. I got some news on that. And again, how many viewers? 19 million. 19 million people saw John Cena. What are all the kids thinking? That's what I wonder, because WWE was always like, well, we can't, China can't go into the Hall of Fame because there's the videos of her and the stuff she's done and things like that. But then there's like a million videos now of so many other WWE wrestlers and WWE people and people like that doing stuff that it's like, well, come on, bro. Sammy Bear King is here. What's up, Sammy Bear? Shout out to all the members in the chat. Thank you for being here. Nessa, what's up? It does feel like it could be a humiliation ritual, no doubt about it. Luke Rojas, what's up, brother? Luke, really monetize this champion is here. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother. What's up, baby? Welcome to the Cronin Club and the Brothers Club right here on the Joe Cronin Show. You guys can all be my brothers. Do you guys want to be my brothers? Who in the chat wants to be my brothers? Put your hands up if you want to be a Joe Cronin crony or a brother. You want to be a brother? Look at that, bro. Let me see all the brothers in the chat. Oh my God, brother. Let's play a donation. Let's see.
Hey, Bullfrog is a moron. Scissor me, Joe!
Oh boy.
Sup, Joe and Jake.
Hey.
Joe, you going to cover the Stephanie and Nick Khan lawsuit? I'm going to lay off the donations.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was tired last night and I didn't do a Raw review because I was dead tired. I worked a double shift and I had my other stuff. Dude, I've done so much stuff this week. Last night I was dead, so I went to sleep. I did not know there was a lawsuit. I have to look this up like right now on the show. Like I had no idea. There's a lawsuit with Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan. Lawsuit, Stephanie, Nick Khan. Are you serious? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. I've been at work all day, guys. I mean, I know about some things that are going on, but I didn't know about this. Oh my God, brother. Okay, this is huge. I did not know about this. Holy shit. Okay.
Hi there, everybody. On today's...
Okay, wait a minute. We got to make this like a topic. Like, this is a big thing. Oh my God, bro. Nick Khan What? What is going on? This is crazy. Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon lawsuit. Holy crap. This is crazy. I'm seeing it everywhere now. I'm reading it. Dude, what are you doing?
I don't know how to do this. Use this.
Okay, first of all, did you ask Mom?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She just ignored.
Why'd she ignore you?
I don't know.
Is she okay?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to call Mom now. This is how you do it. Did she say you could have this? You push down. You push like that. See that? You push it away like that.
Oh.
But it's running out, so be careful. Hey, he's down here trying to ask me. All right. I'm in the middle of my show, and Finn's down here asking me about whipped cream.
What?
I told him to ask you if he could have the whipped cream, and he said you ignored him.
You didn't ask me.
You
Yeah,
didn't?
I did.
You did? Well, someone's lying.
I went in the room.
Okay. Well, go ask her again. He's got whipped cream that he just came down here with. It's 10 o'clock at night, and he came down here with whipped cream, and he goes, Mom ignored me, and then he asked me how to do it, and I showed him really quickly. So give him a little squirt for me, but that's it. And probably tell him, whatever. But I just wanted to let you know he came down here with whipped cream. I think you should whip cream in the face. What's going on? The kid's coming down at 10 o'clock at night with whipped cream. Gets out of bed. Oh my God, it's a whipped cream. On a school night. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth, fool. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Nick Khan and the lawsuit. Let's listen to what this is about. Who can we listen to? The stupid, oh God, the British guy is great.
Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. This is a new report here published through Front Office.
God, I'm sorry. Listen, I love you guys. Bless your hearts, all you UK listeners. I have a lot of UK listeners, United Kingdom fans, friends, British people that are, whatever, But good Lord, I don't know what it is, but something about British wrestling fans that are content creator people, it irritates the shit out of me. On the next episode of Wrestling Under the Ring, John Cena caught up in a conspiracy. It's just like, you know what? I think I know what it is. The British accent is made for so to Americans, the British accent sounds really smart. You sound like a very smart person, right? Like British people, they always sound very smart and intelligent and stuff like that. But then when they're speaking about wrestling, it's that sounds stupid. You're supposed to be smart. Talk about astrology and mathematics and the Pythagorean theorem and you know what I mean, the old the Kentucky Derby, I don't know why, or something like that. But when you speak about wrestling, it just seems silly. You sound too smart to be talking about wrestling. And did you know that Vince McMahon will be it's just fucking what is going on? So that's what I finally figured it out. I've been trying to figure it out. That's what it is. It's British people talking about wrestling really pisses me off. I don't know why. And that's why. Now I know why. But if you're from Brooklyn or something and you're yeah, so then fucking John Cena gets in the ring and he bashes a guy in the head. And here's the thing, McMahon's in a lawsuit. You're oh yeah, these guys know what they're talking about. Or Conan when he's talking about wrestling, he's well, here's the thing, man. And then fucking Disco jumped in the ring and he tried to rape the guy. And you're yes, this is wrestling talk. I love this. But when a guy's well, here's the thing. I think Daniel Bryan. You're shut the fuck up, bro. I think Daniel Bryan. Stop talking. Shut up. Stop it. That's what it is. I've been trying to figure it out for years. I finally figured it out. That's what it is. F British wrestling people. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Oh, my God, brother. I finally figured it out. All these years, I figured it out. Can't believe it. Well, listen, the bottom line is, and it could be the UK wrestling fans too, I don't know, Gerald Armstrong, I love you, bro. I really appreciate all your donos. Seabass the Beast, thank you for the $3, Seabass. And by the way, Jake isn't here right now. I played a clip earlier from the Jake and Joe podcast because me and Jake recorded a podcast and we uploaded it on Patreon. It's up right now. Go listen, sign up, become a patron. I'll shout you out on the show in just a few minutes. Become a patron. It supports us. Exclusively 40 minutes, me and Jake. It's up right now, but of course tomorrow we'll be live out of nowhere right here on the Joe Cronin Show. So I played a clip from that when Jake responded to the John Cena naked stuff, so you'll be able to hear that. So thank you, Seabass. But yeah, Jake isn't really here right now. Appreciate that though. Oh, here's Jake right now.
Guess who's back? Jake is back. Guess who's back? Jake is back. Grab your banana, peel it down, and pretend it's a nutsack and lick it up because Jake is back. Yeah. Stay sexy. Stay sexy. You gotta stay sexy. Stay sexy. Jake is back.
Oh my God, brother.
John Cena is a complete sellout. I think he's most definitely a homosexual who enjoys black cocks in his ass.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to think that John Cena's a little bit on the, he could be on the Vince McMahon type of deal, but the only difference is I don't think John Cena's going around and forcing people to do things, and I don't think he's into the illegal stuff that Vince was into, potentially, allegedly. But, huge boner 69, thank you for the $24. That is the biggest donation of the stream. I'm going to put you on the top dog spot. But what I will say is this. I do think he might be playing peekaboo with some people. You know what I mean? I think he might be into some weird, like, peekaboo type of stuff. John Cena, for sure. Which is fine. I mean, listen, you know, you do you, live your best life, and that's not a problem to me. You know, as long as you're not hurting people or kids or something like that, you know, hey, you know, you play peekaboo all the time if you want, you know? So I don't really have a problem with it. But I think, yeah, I think Cena is into some, you know, peekaboo type stuff. Like if some videos came out, like that's why he's doing all this stuff. Because what's any crazier than he's like naked in pigtails, licking lollipops, and it's like lots of kids are seeing this and they're like, what's going on? Like all these kids love Cena. Like I got to be honest, I don't know. I'm never like worried about like doing stuff because listen, that ain't for this audience. If you don't want kids to see it, don't let your kids see this, you know? Like Ricky Stenicki, I think I could do that movie if I was Cena, and I'd be like, yeah, you know, it's an adult movie. Kids shouldn't watch it, so whatever. But I think I might have said no, maybe, to the Oscars thing, right? Because I would have been like, well, that's a little bit weird, and I'm a host of like, didn't John Cena host the Kids' Choice Awards a million times? And so, like, I don't know, like, if I was Cena, I'd be like, nah, there's so many kids that still, like, there's always a recycled group of kids that like me. I don't know, maybe I won't do that. I don't know. Or maybe I wouldn't care. I'm not sure, but I feel like just my kids have already asked me. Like, they've already seen it. Like, everyone's seen this one way or another. And all it takes is one kid to see it, and they send it to each other, and everybody sends it. And my kids just said, like, why was John Cena naked at some show? Like, what the hell? Like, that's what they said. So, whatever. It's not, like, the worst thing, but it's, like, weird. It's like, I can't imagine if I was a kid and I seen Hulk Hogan, like, when I loved Hogan, and then, like, Hogan was naked at the Oscar. I'd be like, what? I don't know, man. Maybe it's not that big a deal. It probably isn't, you know, probably being a, you know. But it's just a little bit weird, I feel like, but whatever. I don't know. I gotta say, his hair looks great here. Look at that hair. They must have sprayed on some stuff or parted his hair perfectly, because this is an above shot, and where's that bald spot? But then again, if I had seen his money, I would get the bald spot fixed, because look at Elon Musk. You know, Elon Musk's hair is glorious, and the guy's really bald. You know, he should be bald, but he's not. So I would get whatever Elon Musk got done, you know, I would get done, because that looks great. Elon looks great. The transition of Elon's hair is amazing. It's great. Oh my God, brother. All right. But yeah, you know, Nick Khan and Steffi. Okay, so let's listen to this clip that I couldn't even stand it.
Sports. It's from some familiar names: Brandon Thurston, John Pollock, and Tim Marchman.
How about you guys get a friggin' lavalier mic? How about that? How about that, you fucking British cocksuckers? You know, you guys are supposed to be brilliant and smart and whatever at what culture. By the way, I hate what culture because, you know, they get rid of Adam Blampier and everything, and he was the only good thing on there. And now these schmucks are sitting in these chairs, and they're doing like a studio thing. They've got a big studio with fancy stuff everywhere. But we forgot the lavalier mics today, so we got to listen to echo in your basement.
And it has identified or named the 4 corporate officers that were mentioned in the suit. So if you've read the suit, or even if you've just read snippets of it, corporate officer number 1.
Where a god, you don't have lavalier mics? Then why are you doing this? And if you don't have lavalier mics, what, you can't get a mixer and a microphone like me? This is the big old what culture? 2.1 million subscribers. 2.1 million subscribers, and they have the audio production of a pussy fart.
1, 2, 3, and 4. That's how certain people were listed exactly in those terms, and they've been identified. So corporate office.
And by the way, just on a side note, I bet that redheaded guy's been raped before. I just want to say. Sorry.
Officer number 1 was WWE President Nick Khan. He's the current president of WWE. Corporate officer number 2, COO Brad Bloom. Number 3 was former chairwoman Stephanie McMahon. She's held a bunch of roles in WWE, of course, but she left in 2023 when Vince returned.
That's bad.
And number 4 was
That's
the
bad
former
news.
head of the legal department, Brian Nurse. Now, Ann Callis, who is the lawyer representing Grant, said, I can confirm that these names are accurate, referencing Bloom and Khan. WWE have released a statement on the matter. I'm going to read that to you. WWE takes Ms. Grant's allegations very seriously and has no tolerance for any, by the way, content warning on the stuff we're about to dive into here. So just giving you the chance to maybe skip on to the next story if you want to.
Timestamps are in the description.
Yeah, before we go into it. WWE
All right, puss bags, I get it.
He takes Ms. Grant's allegations very seriously and has no tolerance for any physical abuse or unwanted physical contact. Neither Nick Khan nor Brad Bloom, prior to the lawsuit being filed on the 25th of January, were aware of any allegations by Ms. Grant that she was the victim of abuse or unwanted physical contact, nor does the complaint allege that either had knowledge of such. So, Bloom and Khan within the suit were not accused of sexual assault. But the suit does allege that they contributed towards covering up the exploitation of Grant, or the alleged exploitation of Grant, in a way that makes WWE liable.
Well, and then the cover-up allegedly of, Ashley Mazzaro, that kind of adds to it for a lot of people, I feel like. So that could be a problem, too. We'll dive more into that. So that's a big thing. This could hurt Stephanie McMahon. I mean, we all thought maybe Stephanie would come back eventually and be that McMahon, because it'd be familiar and it'd be nice, whatever you think of Vince McMahon, but it'd be nice if his daughter took over, in a big way with Triple H, because, I don't know, you'd like some member of the McMahons to carry down the legacy some more. And I think they removed Stephanie to keep her a bit clean during all this stuff so that Vince would eventually end up, whether they knew Vince would or not, take most of the blame or all of the blame and whatever, and they could eventually bring back Stephanie to be a part of WWE in many whatever ways. But so I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. What's going to happen? How much she's in trouble for what, and what's going on. There's also a breaking story that Mercedes Moné was told that her ankle injury was career-ending. I don't know if that's a legit story or not, but that's a big rumor and thing that's going around, and certainly Cyclops is promoting that, so it could be potentially true, maybe, or at least it's a good rumor. But it looks like it could have been career-ending, and I don't know, maybe it's really bad. And it's obviously really bad, and it's obviously pretty severe, and it's kept her out a while. It's an ankle injury that's kept her out a while, and it was, what an awkward fall. And she does it in, like, I don't remember if it was New Japan or just one of the other Japanese promotions. I think it was. I don't think it was New Japan, and that's even crazier. That it goes back to some goofy thing like that. And the way she fell down off the ring and off the ropes, and it was a very awkward landing. It was very weird, no doubt about it. But Seabass the Beast, thank you. Gerald Armstrong said, Joe, do you think someone will create a naked Cena in 2K24? Yes, I bet you it's already been done, or at least the closest to it you can get. Now, what would be funny is if they put the Oscar sign over the back in front of him. That would be hilarious. And they called it Naked Cena. I don't know if that will be allowed by 2K on the Upload Online platform and whatever they call it, but, it might be. But the polls, we're going to go to the poll in a minute. People have had a long time now to vote on the poll, and so we're going to take a look at it. I haven't even looked at it yet. I think last time I took a peek, it was at 40 votes. It's got a lot more probably now, but let's go to back to the donations. Huge Boner, thank you for the top dono of the stream, man, so far. Much appreciated. Let's see what else you guys got to say.
Some reason I miss, some reason I miss, some reason I miss phoning you from a phone booth. I miss phone booths, I miss phone booths, I miss phoning you from a fucking phone booth. I miss phone booths, I miss phoning you, I miss phoning you from a fucking phone booth.
Yeah.
This whole John Cena thing doesn't surprise me. Cena being a weird-ass mermaid in that Barbie movie was the start. Now he's dressing up like Boy George and Britney Spears. He must be desperate for that Hollywood paycheck.
Yeah, it feels like Hollywood is messing with John Cena. Like even the Peacemaker, the Peacemaker, he's like a moron, idiot, weirdo. So it's like John Cena just plays a retard, like a sexually, like what do you want to call it? Like I don't know, like a sex deviant, like coward retard in everything. Like his character is like if Stifler from American Pie was a cross-dressing retard. That's what John Cena is playing in almost everything he's in now, which is weird because, at one point this guy was going to be friggin' Duke Nukem, I really think he would I really think he could play Duke Nukem. Can you imagine him with the vest and the thing and like the only problem is he doesn't have the voice. He would only be able to be Duke Nukem if he could put on the voice. Or like it's just not possible unless he could do the voice. He should go to a voice class and learn how to do John St. John.
Hey, I'm ready to kick ass and kill people with my dong. Here's my big one. Now, suck my boomstick.
It's like if he could just learn to do something like that, it would be okay. But I guess he could just have really good lines and his voice wouldn't have to be great. It could as long as his lines were good and he was like, but he's too silly. I think the Duke Nukem is a very serious looking guy, right, in the video game. Like you'd have to be a stone hard face, like I'm gonna kill. Like he doesn't have that. He's got everything he does is silly. And so, to play devil's advocate, devil, no, but to play devil's advocate, maybe it's just that Cena is like a big idiot. And so they're like, yep, his best stuff is when he's like like embarrassed or a retard. So we'll do this with the guy, I guess. But maybe that's what it is because he just doesn't work in serious movies. That could be what it really is. But it could be a humiliation ritual that so many, and it's just more obvious with him. But when you look at all the Hollywood people who have had to do initiation things and stuff, and when, some people who have escaped some of this stuff have talked about selling their soul and initiations and things they had to do. I mean, remember the alleged Neil Patrick Harris? Neil Patrick Harris had a dead corpse cake or something of Amy Winehouse after she died. Amy Winehouse died and the guy had a grisly goth death rotted corpse of Amy Winehouse at this Hollywood party. Like they're all kinds of crazy people. You know what I mean? Like this is a guy who they're like, we love Neil Patrick Harris, Doogie Howser. And then all of a sudden, the guy's got all these roles now, right? Like, he really wasn't doing anything. He was in Doogie Howser as a kid. It was a big thing. He got, like, a couple of cameos and some stuff over the years, maybe, but nothing really happened. And then all of a sudden, the guy is doing weird death cakes and satanic stuff, seemingly. But he doesn't dress like a goth person. He doesn't seem like he's into goth stuff. He dresses like a regular dude, a gay guy, and all this stuff, and all of a sudden he's in TV and movies again, And you wonder if people like that are the ones that do the satanic rituals, because all of a sudden it seems like they get this boost where all of a sudden he's in Doctor Who, he's in The Matrix, and he's got several other roles now that are prominent roles, and people are talking about him like, oh my God, Neil Patrick Harris, like so good, so amazing. But like, where was that for 20 years after Doogie Howser? The guy did Doogie Howser, and then where was he for like 20 years? Almost nothing from 1994 to like 2013 or 14. And then suddenly all these ritual things pop up and these strange parties that he does and these weird things. And then all of a sudden he's in movies. And it's like, okay, that's a little weird, right? Like Neil Patrick Harris seems like a guy that wasn't doing well. Then all of a sudden, boom. John Cena did a couple of things and they weren't very great. And it was like WWE films only. And then all of a sudden, John Cena now has these roles in these massive movies and these things, and he's dressing up like a Britney Spears hooker, and he's a mermaid woman guy. I mean, bro, I don't know, but something is weird with the way that Hollywood works, no doubt about it. And we'll see, man. Anyway, if you guys want to donate, the link is pinned to the top of the stream. If you want to support the channel, there's a brand new $24 Jake donation. Jake is back. Don't forget about The Rock's Gay Mana donation. That's $25, and you can use that as well. And right now I'm going to go back to the donos real quick, and we'll get a little bit more into this Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon lawsuit that's going down or whatever.
Come on out, you rapist!
Jennifer Muppet Baby, though, she became a member again. Retro Neon, thanks for the $7. Jennifer Muppet Baby, 30 months in a row. Love you, Joe. Keep on keeping on. The world is crazy, and so let's watch wrestling and have fun. Hi to the awesome chat. We're always here. Shout out to Jennifer Muppet Baby. Everybody draw some Muppets in the chat for Jennifer Muppet Baby. Oh, my God, brother. And, of course, Jake and Joe podcast. It's up on Patreon right now. Brand new, just went up today. Go listen to it. 40 minutes. Download it for $1 only a month. You can hear it. I'd prefer you become a $5 member a month, but you do whatever you want. Plus $25 producers. We could use you guys, and we'll be shouting them out tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere with Jake. Listen to what Jake had to say about a lot of things today on Jake and Joe podcast on Patreon right now. Oh, my God, brother. Thank you, Jennifer Muppet Baby. Shit bum.
Allison Tugwab going to be inconsolable if number 8 becomes RFK Jr.'s VP pick. OMG brother, verbal clip needs to be a dono alert.
I should make that a dono alert, I agree. Haystacks Monet. Super OG. Haystacks, thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother. What amount should I make the donation for? Haystacks. But Haystacks, thanks for becoming not a brother, but a shit bum. $5 shit bum. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Haystacks Monet. Hit that like button for daddy, all right? Oh my God, brother. Let's go ahead and check out the let's play another dono. Let's check out the poll. Let's check out the poll. Was John Cena performing a satanic humiliation ritual? We have 167 votes. 167 votes. Was John Cena participating in a satanic humiliation Hollywood ritual? Wow. 168 votes. Wow. 62% of you say yes. 62% of you believe this was a satanic ritual that John Cena was involved in. Wow. That is telling that, like, back in the day, I feel like if this was a poll question in 2004, it would be either 50, I think it would be no. I think no would win 60, 70% no. But, like, in the year we're in now where everyone's eyes are open and no one trusts anything and believes anything with the way things are going, that is for sure telling. One way or the other, that's telling. 63% he was involved in a satanic humiliation ritual. Wow. We're going to go to Discord in a few minutes and see what the peeps on Discord think about this as well. We'll be over there in a second. Stay put if you're over there. We'll be there to get weird with you guys. Trust me. Oh, my God, brother. Oh, my God, brother. What up, brother? Shit, bum.
What if Will Smith had approached Cena on stage?
I don't think Will Smith would do that because Will Smith is already involved in the Hollywood elite. Will Smith is involved in Humiliation too. The Humiliation is Jada Pinkett Smith. Why do you think Will Smith is with her? I mean, that whole thing is a emasculated, embarrassment. Will Smith sold his soul too, I think. Will Smith don't got a cuss on his raps to sell records, but I do, so Kim and Q too. I got my thing because I don't even need, and I got this not having to swear and talk about the drugs and then blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, Will Smith. Will Smith, let me tell you something, bro. You ever lay a hand on my buddy, Chris Rock, ever again, Will Smith, all right? I will fuck Jada Pinkett Smith in front of you, and then I'll stab your eyeballs with tree trunks, okay? So don't ever do that again. Don't ever put your goddamn hands on one of the biggest legends in comedy, Chris Rock, ever again. I will break your goddamn legs, Will Smith. Do you understand me? Okay? You'll be the fucking Fresh Prince of fucking sawed into pieces, motherfucker, okay? So don't you ever touch Chris Rock ever again, bro. I will marry your daughter, okay? And then I'll divorce her, all right? And then I'll show everybody her messed up pubes, okay? On Instagram. So don't ever talk about motherfucking nothing, Will Smith. You shut your goddamn mouth, okay? Okay? You shut your goddamn mouth, all right? Jada Pinkett Smith, guess what? She wanted Tupac, brother. She wanted Tupac, but she had to settle for your ass. And then you had to stay close so you didn't get killed. I get it, brother. I get it. You're a sick weirdo. Jade is a weirdo. You're a weirdo. I hope Chris Rock runs you over with a truck. Oh my God, brother. All right. Weirdo. Like the movie. I like Independence Day, though. And I like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All right. It's a good movie. I like the show. It's one of my favorite shows. But the guy's a real man isn't a man. Will Smith ain't a man, bro. You know why Will Smith ain't a man? Because legit, bro, the guy is a cuck for his fake wife that doesn't even like him. And then he goes and slaps another man. You slapped a brother. Okay? Will Smith, I'll push you down a flight of stairs so fast, bro. And then I'll tell OJ that your name's Nicole and he'll stab you, okay? I won't have to do nothing. OJ will do it for me. Let me tell you something, Will Smith. I will fucking paint you white and I'll leave you alone with OJ, okay? I'll paint you white, put a wig on your ass, and I'll put you in OJ's basement, okay? And he'll finish you off real quick. I'll take you out like I took out Nicole, motherfucker. That's what will happen. Oh, my God, brother. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Also, I heard Hunter got a lawyer as well. Even though they only said those 4 names, there is a possibility that Hunter and others knew these things about Vince and might get a call. It'll be interesting to see if anything else comes out of this later on.
Yeah, I'm also Retro Neon. Thank you for the $7 again, Retro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Someone give my brother for me, please. Oh my God, brother. Yeah, I'm concerned about that stuff. But there's so many people that think that this was a sabotage by TKO or by Khan or somebody is sabotaging all these people to get them all out of the way so they can just take over the WWE. Like, that's a real thing. That's a real conspiracy theory. And I don't believe it 100%, but it is interesting. And it is kind of strange that this all went down around the time that it's gone down. You know what I mean? Like, a little strange. A little bizarre. And it makes me wonder, it just feels like some kind of a takedown or sabotage. And who benefits the most from it? That's the big question. Who's benefiting the most from this? I don't know. Seems like all the TKO people and the Nick Khan. But then if he's named, then what's the, I don't know. Oh my God, Chief Wahoo. That's right. I saw this in the chat. Chief Wahoo gifted 5 subs, man. Thank you so much, Chief. Dude, Chief Wahoo has gifted over like 70 subs this past month. We have like 158 members. He's gifted that many members. By the way, the people that got the memberships are Joe Bishop, Andre Lavandero, that one guy, Jay, the Ghost from the Coast, maybe? I don't know. Al Vale, and Haystacks Monet all gifted those memberships. So, shout out to you guys for getting those memberships, and congratulations. Oh my God, brother. Available on Patreon as of today, the brand new and returning podcast of Jake and Joe.
Rapist!
There's that one guy getting his. So, we're gonna head over to the Discord in a second. But let me play a little bit more of this.
And McMahon, Stephanie, they were mentioned only in passing, and neither have been accused of any crimes either. So the suit as a whole...
Okay, so they haven't been accused of any crimes, which is like it's just like everyone's writing this.
Come on out, you rapist!
They're named. They're named in the lawsuit. That's all. They're just named in the lawsuit. That's... Like, there's so many misleading things about this. Like, people are like, did you know they're named in the lawsuit? Well, that doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. They're just named. Like, they're in the company. Like, anybody could be named who's in the company. So it's just like, it's not that big a deal, really, but it's just a great headline, named in the lawsuit.
Super chat party.
Oh, super chat.
Joe Jones is Christ.
Oh, my God. Farsick Psych. Joe Jones is Christ. Man, it's been a while since we've got one of those donations. But shout out to the OG donator for that. Joe Jones is Christ. I know that he used to leave that comment on the videos, and he still does from time to time, and good to know it's still going around. Shout out to whatever that means. I don't know. But I appreciate it, I guess.
You donated $50. I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Cronin.
Yo.
Cena knows his demo is kids and comes out naked. I know a pedo when I see one.
Right.
Also, Hattie is getting taken over by a cannibal gang. Finally, if I did it.
If I did it. Yeah, I watched a man in Haiti the other day eat another man on the street, and I was confused, disgusted, weirded out. But remember all the celebrities that told us Haiti was actually a beautiful place and Donald Trump's an asshole for saying it's a shithole? Donald Trump said Haiti is a shithole country. And now people are eating each other and eating shit in the streets, and it's kind of like Philadelphia. So, so who was right? Were the Hollywood elite who said Haiti is actually awesome? Is the Hollywood elite right? Or is Donald Trump right who said Haiti is a shithole country? I mean, whether you love Trump or you hate Trump, that doesn't matter. The bottom line is just answer the question of who was right. Was it the celebrities who said Haiti is actually a wonderful country and a great place and a beautiful country and we love Haiti? Or is it a shithole country? Like, that's the thing. And I'm going to have to call it a shithole country. And now it's not really a country anymore at this point. You know? There's going to be lots of people coming to America now. So I can't wait to have we'll have all of the burning people alive, hatchet wielding people from Haiti coming to America. That's awesome. We've got all the Mexican cartels traveling throughout the country, killing people and selling drugs. That's awesome. We've got criminals from Mexico coming in like crazy. That's awesome. We have Chinese spies and no-gooders coming into the country. That's awesome. We have Middle Eastern people coming from multiple different places, many of them criminals. They're coming into the country. That's awesome. We have people in Africa who are also criminals besides Haiti also coming. That's awesome. And in the middle of all that, there's about 30 or 40% of the people that are actually seeking asylum coming here for fun or to really become an American. So that's great. We have... I don't know the real numbers, obviously. Maybe it's only 10 to 20% that are bad people. But either way, it doesn't look good. And this country's falling apart. And we're going to become the fall of Rome in Massachusetts eventually. And in America, to be honest. So, yeah, saddle up and lock and load, folks, because it's coming. I don't care what you are, who you are, it's coming. I don't care what political party you are. I don't care what you believe about border control, what you believe about the country. If you're a left wing, a right wing, an independent, it don't matter, folks. We are going to see our children killed in the streets. You're going to see people murdered left and right, people beaten up, assassinated, police departments backing off of stuff, more crime, no jail time for actual criminals. They're going to round up regular people. They're already doing all of this that I'm saying right now, so it's not even that crazy because they're doing it now. So, yeah, you're going to see this country go to hell real quick. And if you were smart, I guess, would you rather live in America where things are, at some point, I think things in America are going to get so crazy that you've never seen anything like it. And so maybe like it's high risk, high reward being in America. Like we're still like a free country sort of, and like we have some ability maybe to turn it around. Or do you want to move to a place like, you know, Australia or New Zealand where, yeah, the governments are really psycho there too, but not a lot of people are really going there and moving there in the same amount they're coming here. So you can kind of manage it maybe, and they have pockets of bad areas, but they're not dealing with the immigration that we're dealing with and the access that we're dealing with. So, you know, and Sweden, you don't really want to go to Sweden because they're also letting everything just pour into the country. And yeah, they're bad too, and they're all weird places, but America, man, those places might have isolated crazy incidents over the next 5 years. But boy, America, bro, I've studied history. And we are on the road to massacre in this country, America. Get ready for the Civil War. The Civil Wars, the race riots, they're all coming, and Star Trek predicted it. We're about to see the Bell riots, and World War III is coming, and, you know, and then in 2075 or whatever, Vulcans are going to land on the planet. Aliens are going to land down here after all the nuclear bombs have gone off. And, you know, we'll save our society. So, you know, I will legit live to see, potentially live to see the worst of what we become. And my kids will live through some of the worst times ever if they survive. But if my kids survive, hey, in 2070, the aliens are going to land. And then we're going to become Star Trek. So let's go. I'm ready. Like, let's do this. Shout out to Ghost from the Coast for dropping the $50 bomb, baby. Appreciate that shit. Let's head over to the Discord. Where all the fascinating people usually are hanging out and waxing their carrots and things like that. But Ghost from the Coast, thank you, bro. We'll talk a little bit more about Naked Cena. Is it a ritual? Is it not? 63% of you guys believe it is. Yo, what's up, Discord?
Disco, what's up, motherfucker? Hey, what the fuck go down?
You do that again, I'm leaving.
I hate you.
Oh my God, brother. So, John Cena.
That's the worst.
John Cena. Oh, you love it. John Cena. What do you think? Let's go with Rojas first, because Rojas, I believe, is against the overall poll, I think, and thinks this is retarded.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that John Cena is a fucking shill. Like, I'm not going to pretend that John Cena is like a fucking free-thinking human because he's a robot. But what I think of him is like a hitman in the mob or a Sicario in the cartel, just completely emotionless, just does his job, does what people ask him to do. He's a fucking robot.
Right.
And I just think that they asked him to do this, and he was like, okay, I'll do it. I don't think it had anything to do with, okay, now sign your fucking name on the dragon blood ritual paper for the naked dance of effigies or whatever the fuck that people are talking about. Like, it's so stupid.
He's already been rich. He's already been rich for years.
Yeah, well, what does he get from this? Oh, now I can be in fucking bullshit movie after bullshit movie that nobody's going to go see anyway.
I think, Rojas, couldn't you argue that this is more of a pathetic downward trend? Like, it's so desperate that he's going to get naked on the stage for his piece of shit Ricky Stenicki movie or whatever?
Ricky Stenicki. Well, no, I don't think it's pathetic. It's something to do. They were doing this, probably talking about how people are going to think that this is a humiliation ritual because they're going to capitalize on retards. No offense to anybody who believes this, but retards who are going to be like, that was the ritual, that was the cult, and fucking, they'll just jump on to any type of like conspiracy train. So the people who made this skit were probably thinking about that and probably were thinking about how this is going to get way more views than if it was just a normal presentation with John Cena. So, I mean, it did what it had to do. And also, this is like the case, I feel like, with every Oscar now. You know, every Academy Award, whether it's Ricky Gervais shitting on all the fucking celebrities, or it's, you know, the fucking Chris Rock and Will Smith thing, or this. It's these desperate, like, okay, let's get people to actually want to watch this boring movie reward show that nobody cares about because most of the movies that are nominated, most people haven't seen or heard of. I didn't even see the trailer to the movie that apparently won Best Animated Picture.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about shock factors back in the window. I mean, you know, it's weird. Except for Jimmy Kimmel, he's still lame as fucking stupid and sucks. But Ricky Gervais was good, but Jimmy Kimmel sucks shit.
Yeah, like, did we all go John Cena humiliation ritual when he was naked on Total Bellas or when he was naked on Peacemaker, when he did all the embarrassing things that he did in wrestling or all the fucking thing? Hell, he literally fucking made an OnlyFans. You know, did everybody go, that was, I mean, yeah, of course
mean,
it
they
wasn't
were
a real
weirded out.
OnlyFans.
I mean, the guy has an audience of kids still, and he's got an OnlyFans. He's naked on the Oscars. I just think he's a yes man. He's always done what Vince wanted. He almost never fights back against what Vince wanted. And he kind of is a team player, and no matter what he does, he'll say yes to anything. He'll say yes to Chinese, to whatever. Like, he don't care. So
Kill this baby. Well, okay.
Yeah, he might. I mean, he might do it. I don't know. He's like, oh, is there? How much are you paying me? Okay.
I just don't like how John Cena went from guy who sounded like a real human being to every interview he does now. He tries to put on. You know what it is? He tries to sound like an intelligent person, but then at the same time, he also likes to play like he's kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like clueless. So it's weird. That Chris Van Vliet interview that he had really just annoyed me because everything he said was just, it didn't feel real. It felt scripted, or like he's thought about it for hours or thought about the most careful way to answer everything. And he has to like remain as humble as fucking possible. So any issue that he ever had with anybody, oh, you had issues with The Rock. I should have never done that. I should have never had any, I mean, I was so immature back then. Oh, well, I heard that a wrestler literally threw shit in your face and made you eat it. Yeah, obviously, I mean, that's just a part of the nature. That's part of the game. And, you know, I was mad at that point, but clearly after growing up in the business, I learned not to be mad about that type of stuff. And that's just normal. Like, everything he says is always like a way to make himself seem way more humble than he probably is, because we do know that like he says something about how oh yeah, I never minded if I had to lose. I never cared about winning or losing. But then we also do know that he did not want to lose to Jack Swagger and that he didn't want to lose to fucking Alex Riley. So what is he talking about? This is bullshit. You're bullshit.
Me? Oh, me? Well, no, I think there's some things that he didn't want to do.
Not you.
Oh,
John
yeah.
Cena.
Well, I mean, the guy's going to make himself look as good as possible, just like The Rock. I mean, these people aren't real. They're their own brand, and so they've got to be careful with whatever. But you know what? To be honest, as much as, you know, I feel bad for Hulk Hogan now. I like Hogan now, and I feel bad for him. And, you know, he's still Hogan. He's a douche, whatever. But he's an old guy now, and he entertained us. And, you know, I just hope he has a happy rest of his life after all the bad things he's done and things. But these people.
I don't. Why does he deserve that?
Well,
he's a piece of shit.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he's a piece of shit. I don't know. Maybe I feel bad. I don't know. But these guys still can't hold a candle to the lying that Hulk Hogan has done. Like, there was Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan there, and I grew up. He was like a hero when I was a kid, for sure. But there is no one who has made up the most retarded shit, I think, than Hogan. Like, The Rock and Cena might not be real, but Hogan is just, the stuff he makes up is out of control. Although I'd argue that if you're hanging out with Hogan, he might be more real to you than Cena and The Rock. They might get on your nerves with how stoic and, you know, in their own character of what they have to be they are, where Hogan will probably say almost anything. I don't know. Oh, he might say the N-word. No, that's the problem. You gotta take that somewhere else. Yeah, get out of here.
Take that somewhere else.
Somebody made a joke earlier today. I was at a gas station somewhere, and I made a weird joke when I came in the gas station. The guy was laughing, and then there was another guy in there, and he was laughing, and I was saying some crazy funny shit, and the guy worked at Dunkin' Donuts. He was like Soundwave 92's age or something, and he was dying laughing, and I was like, I should have given him the show, so because he would probably enjoy this type of comedy since he was loving everything I was saying. But then when I get to the register, the guy was like, "Hey, you want to hear some jokes?" And I was like, "Okay." And the guy began to tell me weird racist jokes, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I like didn't.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's so weird when people do that to you in public.
Like, you're like, I don't know you, and you don't know me, and like you're telling me this weird joke. He was like, it was like, what do you call a black guy at the bottom of the ocean? I was like, oh boy, what the fuck? Like, that's the joke you're coming up with? I'm like, okay, I don't know. And he goes, pollution. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he goes, what do you call every black guy in the world at the bottom of the ocean? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, solution. I was like, well, what the
fucking
fuck,
hell,
bro? No,
fucking hell. I've had that. No, seriously,
like,
I've had that happen at Wawa. That's happened to me before, but about Jews instead.
About Jews, yeah. I hear about Jews. It happens too, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't. It's weird. Like that. Like, if you're sitting around a bunch of people and you guys are all making jokes or whatever, and everyone's telling crazy jokes about people. Like, I get it. Like, let's keep making jokes about everybody. Oh, I want to hear a joke about a white guy. I want to hear a joke about a Hispanic guy. I want to hear a joke about a black guy. Let's all make crazy.
They never make.
Let's all make.
No, they never do make jokes about white guys. They make jokes about black guys.
No, you can make jokes about white guys. But like the point, the point is though, I don't know you, and now, and for some reason, something like in your head made you go, I want to tell this guy a racist joke. And you're like, and you look around, there's like two white guys in there, and then he's a white guy, and you're a white guy, and you're like, why is he, what? I barely know you. Why you, what the fuck? There's so many jokes out there. This is the joke. But he also told me like misogynistic jokes too after that. He told me like, what do you call a woman who does this? And I'm like, I don't know. But it was just weird. It was like, I wouldn't.
It is weird. It's annoying. Listen, I don't want to be part of your weird, like, there's a difference between telling racist and sexist jokes in a format like this, or in a format where you're just hanging around. But I'm at a fucking public event or a public area, and it's not even really that funny of jokes. It's like standard old man Nazi fucking knock knock racist jokes. Like, what do you call two fucking blacks that you can't sell to anymore to fucking slave owner? Useless shitheads. It's not funny. Like, I don't find that funny. I just find it racist and weird.
It's funny,
so,
but it'd be funny if you or I were saying it to each other, because we would, like, we know each other, so we would laugh because we know that it's so fucked up and weird that's why we're laughing, because that's what's funny. But like when someone else you don't know says that, you're like, are you racist? Like, I don't like it's weird how that works.
No, because Joe, you don't just go up to someone and go, yeah, you want to hear a joke? And then just randomly throw this like fucking M-rated racist ass joke to them. You would be like, hey, you want to hear a joke? And you make like a fucking appropriate to the situation joke.
Right.
Some people don't know how to pick on social cues, and some people are just racist. They're like, I'm sorry, but this fucking guy, there was like a song playing or something on Wawa, and there was a song playing on the radio, and he just starts, and he comes up to me, and first he says something so annoying because he said it to me before. He sticks his dumb fucking broken teeth face in my face, and he goes, hey, you want to make $100? And I just straight up tell him, no, not really. And he goes, oh, well, I was going to tell you to find a guy who makes these songs on the radio and fucking, kill him. I'm like,
no.
I think he said that. I told him, I think he said that to me already before. And he goes, oh, okay. And then the song was playing in the background. And all of a sudden, while he's counting his cash, he starts humming, Jew, 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 Jew. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're not Jewish, are you? I'm like, no. But what if I was?
You should say yes.
And then he just keeps singing it. And then he goes, they should play this at the strip of guys. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You fucking weirdo. And of course, he's exactly who you think he would look like. Wearing the fucking stupid stained fucking hoodie, the fucking camouflage fucking baseball cap, dirty ass jeans and work boots, smells like fucking cigarettes. And then apparently when he went outside to bother the people in the gas station, and they came in and told me, they're like, yeah, that guy was weird. He just kept yelling at us about like, oh, I hope you didn't vote for Biden. Hope you didn't vote for Biden. So some people are just like terrible people, and you get to actually see, oh, these are the racists that people think, I am, or people dub everybody else. These are the actual racists.
Yeah, or even if they're not really like fully racist, because I don't think necessarily they all are either. I just think like they're telling a joke that's like a little. It's just a weird. I'm not ready for that yet. It's a weird time to bring that up. That they might actually be that. I don't know. So it's not a big deal. I don't want to cry about it anymore. We'll move on. But it's just funny that I was like, what the fuck, bro? So you don't think it's John Cena's doing a satanic ritual? But the chat at least overall does. I'm 50-50 on it, man. I've seen this shit before from people, but I would say Occam's razor, he's just trying to promote a movie and he's fucking has no shame. That's really it. But maybe it's maybe it's worse than we know. Let me go to the donos real quick.
Super chat party.
Butch Club.
The road to 70K starts now. Acknowledge and follow.
Well, you already hit 70K, didn't you, Botch Club? I thought I saw that the other day. Or was it 50K? I don't know. Everybody go follow Botch Club on Instagram, and you gotta see what he posted over this past week. I'm telling you, bro, you will love it. Enjoy it. You will like it. Let me see. Let me play another dono real quick. We're in Discord, but
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do.
Hey, Stacks, Monet.
Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Middle dot wo gang gang xiang ke luoning middle dot chow huang kuan. Sayan just donated to Joe in Mandarin. John Cena commanded me to do so.
Hey, Stacks Monet, thank you, man. Domo arigato, ahau gozaimasu. The only Japanese I know. Sayonara. Hey, Stacks, thank you so much, man. Hey, we got a whole bunch of people in the Discord, and I guess...
yeah, I mean, Jay Menace and Jag... I always say Jag Depenser's name wrong. It's like Depenser, Dispenser, fucking Department of Corrections.
Oh. Yes. What about them?
No, that's his name, right? I'm waiting for somebody else to talk.
Oh,
He swallowed his microphone. Oh,
shit.
never mind.
Yeah, everybody's mic sucks. Great. J Menace, what'd you say?
So let me start off by saying that yeah, Luke, he got to my point first that I wanted to make about John Cena just doing what he's asked. But just the two things that I wanted to hit on real quick is the man been half naked on national television for 2 decades. Get over yourself. That's first.
Right.
And number two, the majority of the people in the chat right now that are saying this is some type of satanic ritual are the same people. And we can go back in the
Well,
past.
it's a humiliation ritual. Like you can be in some movies, go do this, or just like some of the other Hollywood people. Do you not like so? Just let me give you a real quick. I got some examples. Like first of all, there's been celebrities parties where up and coming celebrities or even some celebrities that you never heard of that became celebrities had to do things where the rest of the party was dressed regular. And they showed up wearing condoms all over their body. And other people have had to lay down at a table and keep their head there while people ate food off of them. And that's a satanic thing for legit. It really is. And there's been other things like that. There's been tons of examples like this. Harvey Weinstein, right? Or whatever. Like, you must fuck me to be in movies and things. Like, there's just a lot of weird shit in Hollywood that, okay, you can be in some movies, do this. And people come out of nowhere, essentially, but you find out they've been kind of lingering around in Hollywood for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, doing weird shit that comes out eventually. So this comes from a place of, I would say, curiosity with some, whatever. But John Cena is a guy who has already kind of been a star for years. So I'm 50-50 on this. I'll let you continue. But I do want to throw it out there. There is some thing to this in a way, one way or the other. But I agree that this may just be, people are just jumping to conclusions because of the way the world is and because of those other things.
I think you do think that. I think you do think that. I think you just I think you wanted to put in the title, John Cena gives his soul away to Satan. So you got to remain 50-50.
I've already said this. I mean, listen, I said this years ago when John Cena said the apology in Mandarin, in Chinese or whatever, and I said, what a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, so I've thought there's something up with Cena for a long time. It's not new. I just don't know exactly what it is. I'm not going to say I know exactly what it is, but I knew when this happened, I immediately sent this to Leah before I saw it anywhere, and I said humiliation ritual. And then I started seeing humiliation ritual everywhere from everyone else. And I had said it before I even saw anyone else say it. The second I saw this, which I thought was funny.
So douchey. I'm sorry, but humiliation ritual. Fucking, I can see already so many douchebags with their fucking annoying podcasts being like, John Cena sold his soul. I mean, I didn't think he sold his soul when he fucking pretended that Taiwan wasn't a country. But now that he did this comedic skit, at the Oscars, he sold his soul. He sold his fucking soul.
I knew it. Yeah, this is why.
This is.
Oh my God, brother!
I hate your voice there. It's so enraging to my ears.
It's one of my best impressions, I feel like, ever.
Yeah, he's not gonna like that.
Oh my God, brother! Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but it is funny. Listen, do you think Cena could?
Joe.
Yo, what's
Joe's
up?
trying to Joe's trying to rip me off. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh my God! Oh my God, bro! You listen to a lot of that guy, boy.
Fucking shut up! You're on his fucking show every other day.
No, I'm not. I never. And guess what? But
yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said the last 500 fucking times.
No,
go ahead, Jay Menace. Answer the.
Go
fucking
ahead, Jay.
question.
I'm sorry.
I'm not y'all good. So yeah, I just, to me, it's very hard for me to look at this situation and believe that there's some type of overarching underlying theme or some shit going on here. I can't believe that this would be a humiliation ritual. Like, I mean, we all know this man. This man was out in cargo shorts in front of 70,000 people, fucking fake fighting for 20 years. I hate to put it like that. I hate to be that bland, but I mean, if we're being completely honest about the situation, if to me, I'm just tired of all of this, like, immediately jump to conspiracy theory bullshit. Like, I have a very logical and methodical kind of probability and statistic methodology. So there's got to be more concrete evidence than just how you feel. Because the truth should be objective, which for anybody out there that's not sure, the difference between something being objective and subjective is when it's objective, it's true whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not. But when we get into all this subjective talk and all this conjecture, that's where the lines get blurred. And one of my favorite sayings is, you can't deny reality to make a point. That's how you end up being and becoming delusional. So I just advise everybody in this situation to, take the road less traveled. I know it's fun. I know it's like exciting to kind of like go along with the get along gang. But then, you're not much better than the guy that you're criticizing, because we all can agree John Cena is a fucking shill.
I think you could argue that if this is the case, John Cena's been in a humiliation ritual for a decade at this point. Like,
this is what I'm saying. And if somebody were to tell me that he did this to like elevate his acting career, I would need to kind of see some evidence. I need receipts. Like, what about this is going to elevate his career beyond what he's already been doing?
I would argue that John Cena one day is going to come out as trans, and I'm not kidding about this. John Cena is going to come out as trans, or that he wants like lady boys or something like that is possible.
It's so stupid. Where do you get this conclusion from? Because he was naked?
No, because this is not a new thing. Okay? This dressing up, and I don't have a problem with that, by the way. This is what he likes to do, go for it. Like I say, do whatever you want to do, but bro, this is not new. Okay? This is like, I have examples. Like, I'll show you the examples. I mean, I've only got 2 right here, but there's so many more, and they're not coming up. There's let me put my video on. We've got him.
I really hate the chat is just annoying tonight. Like, me and Jay Menace have both stated, because we both stated we know John Cena is a fucking shill, but there's been so many people in the chat being like, I bet this guy votes for Biden. Oh yeah, Luke the liberal, some bullshit. Like, dude,
what, you can't handle? You can't handle some of the people shitting on you? I mean, like, what's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I can handle it. Can I not call them out?
Okay. Go ahead.
And when it's you, Joe, you go on a 7-minute rant about someone's trailer park. So, fuck you. Okay. But I'm just saying, it's like, dude, it's so annoying. Just because I don't believe that this was a ritual cult thing, now I'm a fucking libtard asshole. Even though I already stated that I think John Cena is a fake and a shill. Same with Jay Menace. And we're going to be both called, oh, I bet this guy voted for Biden. Like, it's fucking annoying, bro.
Well, it's just I think it's just a joke. I think it's like, well, I bet this guy voted for Biden. I don't think it's a joke.
Nah. Who cares if it's a fucking joke? I don't give a shit. I mean, yeah, fucking the chat talks a lot of shit, but then when they fucking get on the show, half of them are like, oh, and they fucking suck my cock. So you know what? And it's just annoying. It's like, it's fucking annoying. Sorry, I'm not a fucking.
My only other point that I wanted to throw in real quick is just to continue for everybody to continue to do your research and continue to just gain more information. When you're using the word ritual, when you're using the word cult, these have connotations, especially in our Western minds. These words have etymologies that at the end of the day go back to religious connotations. These are the same people in the chat who have gone on record and said that religion is bullshit. You cannot turn around and then say John Cena is a cult or this was a ritual. Those have religious connotations.
No, you can, because But you know what?
delusional fucking fantasy world.
But the
in your
point
mind.
is that they do believe in stuff. They believe in the Hollywood cult, and they believe in, you know, I mean, the satanic. Maybe they're satanic. The satanic cult. You don't know that they're not into that.
Okay, but if Hollywood, which is filled with some of the like most richest people in the whole world, if they're in a satanic cult, then they probably know more than the average man about if it's real or not. So
imagine if years ago we said,
a-
you know, Vince McMahon shits on women's heads and then does this, that, and the other thing. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, is Harvey Weinstein the stuff he made women do to get into movies? You know, the celebrities have parties when a celebrity dies, they have a cake of the celebrity and they all have sex on the cake and eat the cake. I mean, this is all real stuff. So, like, I mean, is this really that crazy to believe? I mean, I don't know if I believe it, really, to be honest. But I'm just saying, is it really that crazy to believe that this could be what's going on? Because crazier shit's going on. There was an island, Epstein Island, where, like, the little kids are trafficked and sex and, you know, whatever. And by the way, Stephen Hawking watches midgets fuck each other. Like, oh, okay, crazy conspiracy theorist.
I thought the whole super liberal elitist thing was that they hate people who talk about religion, but now they're a part of a satanic religious group, so it doesn't make any sense.
They would really. Of course, they hate people that talk about religion because if they're satanic,
no, this is a dragon cult. This is a dragon cult, not a demon cult. First of all, so you get your facts straight. It's fucking bullshit, bro. This is stupid.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, so Epstein Island's fake. That's all fake.
That's not. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, whatever. This is a cult ritual Satan.
Well,
WWE
nobody said
star
that. You're
gives
saying
into-
that. Nobody
You
really
said
said
it
that.
You said it in your title, retard. WWE gives into Satan.
No, I said John
Unless-
Cena weird Hollywood humiliation ritual. That's
and
what
what
I
does
said.
it say on the thumbnail? What does it say on the thumbnail?
It says WWE stars give in to Satan.
So do you not? So I thought you didn't believe in Satan, though. You didn't believe in God. You
So
don't
what?
believe in Satan.
So what about this? Isn't like Satan then?
I don't know, because it's a funny skit that was meant to be. Oh, it's a shock. Oh my God, he's naked. Ha ha ha.
Well, guess
But
what?
now we
The
gotta-
thumbnail's a
now
shock.
every-
The thumbnail's a shock.
No, the thumbnail is a lie. The thumbnail is a lie.
Wait, hold on.
Triggered you.
Hold on. Because
You don't even believe it. You don't even believe it.
I don't believe.
even
You're right.
believe
You know
this
what?
shit.
I don't believe the thumbnail title. I agree. I don't believe that. I don't even believe 100% the John Cena weird Hollywood humiliation ritual. I don't really believe in that necessarily. But these are the things that people are saying, so I put those things on the title and the thumbnail. It's not that I'm saying it.
yeah.
People are saying that.
So you can draw. So you can draw in these stupid people who believe this bullshit.
Just
and
like
then-
John
and continue
Cena.
this-
John Cena was like the
and
stupid
continue-
people that love that I'm naked. 19 million people see it.
But so look,
All
this
right.
is where I see where that disconnect is coming in, and this is the like methodology I'm attacking directly. What this is, and again, y'all gonna hate me saying this over time. That's what we call in the debate world an appeal to ignorance fallacy. What that is simply you are saying because there's no evidence against something not being true, then you can't just disregard it. But we're still like, that's what I'm saying. We're getting into that fantasy world where just because, say, for example, me or Luke do not have any direct evidence.
No
in
one's
front
saying.
of
I'm
you
not saying
to
that though.
refute it.
I'm not saying.
No,
that.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. Yeah, I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying that's where I'm attacking that ideology because there's no direct link to that where we
Right.
could just take you on YouTube or something. People are just like, oh well,
Yeah, this is
because
a-
we've seen this. You know what I mean? Like it's
No,
one of
this
those.
is a somewhat careless speculation theory or conspiracy. It's
Yeah,
not.
but let's just
I wouldn't.
hop on all of these.
Yeah, well, this
Let's
isn't
hop on
all
all
of
of
these.
them.
This is one of the biggest trending things all week.
But no, I'm saying it's a trending thing for retards, and they're going to forget about it in a week.
Oh yeah.
Move on to another thing. Move on to another thing that's some sort of woke conspiracy elitist bullshit. That I'm just annoyed with it because it's everybody knows this is a non-story. It's fake. Anybody who actually is talking about it, they don't even really believe it in themselves and or care. Like, what is okay? If this is a ritual, what does it really matter? Do you give a shit? Does this affect your day-to-day life that people do this shit in Hollywood? We've all known Hollywood has been weird for years, but now we're all going to be stewing and saying, I can't believe that John Cena would do this comedic skit.
Right.
Like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's not, I don't understand how people can feel betrayed. Like, I've seen people say, like, can't believe Cena would do this. Why do you give a fuck? It's his career. And also, it's a fucking comedy thing. Are we not allowed to are men just not allowed to be the butt of the joke at all? Or is that all, if a man is a butt of a joke to some sort of skit or whatever, is that a humiliation ritual? Because that's what it's being turned into.
Well, because
Oh
so
my
many
God.
men are doing that, it's become a thing. But I just think it's him. I think he's just the pathetic person, you know. He'll do anything.
But or it could be a ritual, you know.
Or it could just be John Cena. John Cena will do anything. I think Cena is one of the biggest team players in almost anything he does. He's found out that like he's not really great at being a very serious actor. He's found out that he's good at being like an asshole, like a weirdo. Like it's just because it's funny.
Yeah,
like he's funny
like
when
him in
he's
Peacemaker.
Yeah, dude, he's great in Peacemaker, and dude, when he like as a mermaid, he looks so fucking ridiculous. But like, he looks ridiculous in these things, and it works. For some reason, it works better when he doesn't take himself seriously. He works really well. When he takes himself very seriously in a movie, it doesn't usually work very well. So I don't know why that is, but he's obviously, just diving into that. That's what I think, and I think that I understand why people are saying this.
Well, what I think this was all, some people say, oh, this was a comedy skit. What I think it was they all got together in a big, giant cathedral and with their hoods on and the fire sticks and stuff, and they all chanted, and then they were like, and then they cut the blood from his arm and said, you will partake in the naked dance of effigies or whatever like that. And then this is what happened. This is all what happened. I mean, this is a ritual, folks. Fuck comedy. Fuck the whole, it's a comedy skit. Fuck John Cena is just, doing what he's told. This is obviously a ritual from Satan. This is retarded.
Go ahead.
You don't have to be like about it, because like there's like multiple things in this whole situation can be true. Like, for example, like John Cena is a shill for the WWE for his whole career, even going back to his bodybuilder days. So it's not like it's something that's original or something that's like a new thing that he's come across. Like he's pretty much used to this at this point. But another thing could be true too, where Hollywood is essentially this weird group of weirdos who gatekeep, and one of the standards of entry can also be, behaving like the way John Cena did over at the Oscars, being naked. And it's like, okay, well, I already do this anyways. So it could be a part of that too. And also it could be another fact that was brought up earlier, which is that they're probably doing this with that in mind, that it's going to create all this buzz. The Overton window's kind of been, put on full display for the public as far as, the humiliation rituals and a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And so they're kind of just trying to like add fuel to the fire and just put off false flags. So that could also be another factor.
And let's not pretend that I wouldn't do this, because, bro, the stuff I would do if I was in Hollywood, the weird shit. I mean, the stuff I do on this show over the years. Am I in Hollywood ritual? Like I've done. I've sucked on a banana like it's a dick, and I've put condoms all over myself. I mean, the things that I've done. I mean,
gave yourself an enema, and that's another thing too. When are we gonna is everything that someone does that's like somewhat kind of embarrassing just for the sake of humor? Are we gonna just now lump that all into this is a Hollywood Satan ritual? And yeah, I am saying Satan. People are like, where are you getting Satan from? I saw it mentioned like a million times in the chat. Don't fucking gaslight
it's on the
me
thumbnail.
now. Pretend I never mentioned Satan. I never mentioned that. Yeah, you did. And yeah, Joe did that too. Joe did that too to me. He's like, when did I say that? In your fucking thumbnail? Oh, well.
I believe this, man. Yeah, I mean, my opinion is that it's just a false flag at this point. I think that they kind of know that people are starting to catch on. And at this point, they're just trying to project that, like, oh, okay, like, look at these weird conspiracy theorist people. Like, they're just trying to, like, project that everything.
It's a psyop, like, or they'll use it against you. And
Exactly.
Yeah, a psyop. A psyop. This is so annoying because of this dumb fucking skit at the Oscars. This is a psyop. Obviously, CIA operation.
Did
This is so
People are not
fucking
aware of it. I mean, you look at like the Cat. There's a reason why the Cat Williams interview did over like 50 million views within like a day. It's because like people are getting pretty privy to this situation, and there are people from the inside who are aware of the stuff going on. It's like it can't be avoided. Like the internet's too big at this point. So I kind of believe that, but also at the same time, like not everything falls into the category of like the ritual. They could be just cognizant of it at the same time and say, like, okay, well, let's just try to play it off as a joke.
Well, a lot of those people that were seeing that Cat Williams things, yes, a lot of people agreed with him. There was also a lot of people, including myself, that thought, oh, you know what? Cat Williams just sounds like a bitter guy who didn't really make it that much in Hollywood. Yeah, sure, he's a notable name, but he didn't get as far as other black comedians like Kevin Hart. And then he shits all over them and says, oh, it's a part of an embarrassment ritual Illuminati cult thing.
I
And
mean,
that's exactly...
Are you going to deny the fact that Hollywood they blacklist people, that they're very cliquey, that there is like a glass ceiling as far as like level of entry, that they don't repeatedly list like the same people for their movies constantly for decades?
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that there's... Sorry.
No. I want you to go, Lou. I'm just saying that's a fallacy right there. That's begging the question.
I'm not denying that happens, but I just don't think that we should just, believe because this somewhat notable celebrity agrees with this conspiracy theory. He's brought it to life. He's bringing this truth to light.
Well, it's not just one celebrity though. Like this has gone on for the better part of like a decade, but whether it be, in other areas of like the mainstream like life, whether it be like the Epstein client list, whether it be, all these folks in like media who get these scandals, like the Weinstein situation. I mean, it's like a combination of multiple things. Like,
yeah, it's a combination. These are outside factors, though. Reality is, this is a comedic skit that was at the Oscars, and now we're talking about how this is but now we're linking this to psyops, and also in fucking like Cat Williams, most of the things that he said, like, yeah, some of them did have sort of truths in there, but half truths. A lot of it was, in my opinion, came off as an annoyed guy, a bitter guy who didn't get as far as Kevin Hart or some of the other people that he threw under the bus. And also, it's kind of typical of people from the black community to shit on successful black people and label them as, oh, they're sellouts or they're Uncle Toms. But, we could ignore that context to focus on the context of, this is a sex party thing. And, I just think it's annoying. I think it's annoying that anything related to Hollywood now, or anything someone does something, now we got to relate it to this is a Hollywood jerk-off ritual. And it's annoying. It's fake bullshit.
I think you're getting too much in the weeds of like being overly dismissive or trying to you're getting too much into trying to debunk the narrative, because I do agree it is annoying. It's like you have like all these like normie podcasts and stuff like that who are making it the topic of their debate and all that, and I get that. Like that is frustrating to like hear, because it's like I think that there's less to it than you see like on the surface level. But
I just want to point out something that someone said. They tried to ruin Mel Gibson. They tried to ruin Mel Gibson and it didn't work. Mel Gibson said a bunch of horribly racist and misogynistic and anti-Semitic things in Rage, and for 5 fucking hours was calling up his wife. They didn't try to ruin him. Fucking Mel Gibson was just an asshole, and a lot of people have said that he's an asshole. But yeah, they tried to ruin Mel Gibson. It's a conspiracy. It's fucking so stupid, bro. I'm so sick of this like dumb, like now everybody's a victim. I mean, obviously this guy was right. This guy was right. And
well, the thing is, like, I think that the problem is that right now we're at a time where a lot of stuff that wasn't open to the public is being revealed right now. Whether it be, the nepotism in Hollywood, like the cliquey shit that's going on in there, the weird stuff that is happening, especially at the political level, the whole quid pro quo stuff that's going on between actors and directors. And even at the political level, you have, politicians who are literally using the justice system. And I know that's like up for debate, but using the justice system to attack political enemies. So I think a lot of people are being overwhelmed. So it's almost like this whole like very odd parents, like Denzel Crocker. It's like everywhere they look at it, it's okay that there's a conspiracy here. There's a conspiracy there.
You're dead right. It's the distortion of truth. Nobody knows what's real anymore, and no matter who you are and what political and how you feel about certain people, you could create a conspiracy or a paranoia that stuff is going on. No matter what things you believe in, no matter what it is. Like I work with like lots of different people who have lots of different feelings about a lot of different things. I mean, I got a friend who thinks that like white people aren't real and never invented anything, and it's very like all these different people have all these different conspiracies, and it's because you have successfully confused all the people into not knowing 100% what's real and not, because the truth and the fact are so bizarre, like either way. And there are things that are coming true all the time that are so crazy that are actually conspiracy. So now people, what it is your brain looks for patterns. Like everyone's brains look for patterns. So when they start seeing crazy stuff become true in so many different ways, and then other stuff, nobody knows what's real. They're being lied to, not lied to. Exactly. So they're just running out of their minds. And you're going to see more. It's just going to get worse. It's going. Well, you can roll. You can roll your eyes all you want, but it's a reality of what's happening right now. People are so confused.
This is reality. We're getting to this conversation. Because of a skit. You people are pathetic.
You're going to see a lot worse. You're going to see a lot worse. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about
anybody who thinks that this is a psyop. Anybody who thinks this is a psyop, you're ridiculous. Someone tells me you're gonna. Someone who tells me the world is gonna kick Luke's ass. Sorry, I don't believe in your fantasy bullshit. Your fantasy dragon bullshit.
Like you're
here's the thing.
But Luke, you don't have to believe in the. You don't have to believe in.
I'm presuming the extreme because all you guys are going on is talking in circles about shit about how people will believe anything and people, this spread of misinformation and blah, blah, believe everything. But then again, Joe is doing exactly what he's talking about, which is spreading something that he doesn't.
We're trying to explain something that's very complex.
Joe is spreading some. Well, I mean, I did have a thought that I was
Luke,
trying to.
Luke, I'm telling you the truth, though. I'm telling you the reality. I'm not telling you what's real or not real. I'm telling you the reality of why everyone thinks this way.
But why wouldn't you put that in your title? People that I don't think that, or question mark ritual. But the way that you specifically did it is to attract dumb people who already set their mind on, oh yeah, this is a ritual. And then you could be like, well, this is really telling that 162 people who are mostly conspiracy theorists anyway believe it. This isn't telling at all. This is a dumb fucking skit, and people are overblowing this. Yeah, there's weird shit going on in Hollywood, but we need to stop fucking shooting, like jumping the bullet, and immediately getting into. Oh my god, this is. Oh my god, this is
jumping the gun. By the way, jumping the gun.
Yeah, I know. I fucked that up too. I was thinking jumping the bullet doesn't make any sense, does it?
Right.
No, but well, you know what though? That was a part of my ritual though. I had to say that embarrassed me. It was a part of my humiliation ritual. So I'm sorry I don't believe in fucking fantasies and fairy tales like a lot of these people do. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound like a liberal. But yeah, you guys are fucking good.
Well, I'm not saying I believe it. See, that's the thing is you're missing. You're going into all this stuff when I'm just telling you.
I'm not talking about you.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the reality of the world is everyone is going to be more paranoid. So for every one thing that is a conspiracy that's true, there's going to be 10 other things that people do believe too, because things are so nuts right now. And that's the problem when you lie. When the media lies, when the government lies, and the world lies to all of us, what you get is a bunch of paranoid people who don't believe in shit, and everyone's crazy and lost their minds. So get ready, because it's going to get a lot worse from here on in.
Hey, Joe, I think a lot of that.
Oh, some more scare tactics. Scare tactics. Okay, that's literally what you just hit. You're such a hypocrite.
It's a fact. It's not a scare tactic. It's a fact. It's a fact.
No, it's a.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again. If you lie to people and real crazy shit goes down,
Well,
and you lie
lying,
to people.
Though. You're lying in your thumbnail, and you're lying in your.
But I'm listening to my words. But I'm trying to get you to listen. Forget the thumbnail. Listen to my words right now of what I'm saying.
But that's a straight up lie right there. You're being hypocritical by saying that people are lying, but then you spread lies all the time.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying people are hypocrites. Where did I say that? What are you talking about?
I'm saying you're a hypocrite for saying for when you spread lies and talking about lies, but you're doing the exact same thing
I'm not
by titling
lies.
your videos with these clickbait titles that something you'd see from the quarter. I mean, I love you, Joe, but I just think that this is such a dumb.
I'm not
so
spreading
stupid.
lies though. I'm talking about what people are saying, which are those quotes in the title and in the thumbnail. If I was lying, I would sit here being like, "This is what's happening. This is another humiliation ritual. We've seen it 1,000 times from 1,000 celebrities. Clearly, this is what they're doing. God knows what, Amy Winehouse, blah, blah." And like, I would have gone through all this stuff and I would have said, this is what's happening. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm skeptical about it. And I don't think so. Occam's razor, this is just a crazy stunt for a movie. But you know what I mean? And by the way, what better way to grab a bunch of people who might think that and then sort of give them the other opinion is by putting what they affirm to, which is in the thumbnail and in the title, and then they come in here and see that I'm being a little bit more down the middle and skeptical of it instead of feeding into everything that they would believe.
Really, because all I've heard you go is be like, well, is it true? Is it not true? I don't know. It might be. That's not you talking honestly about
Could be.
it. You're taking the middle side.
I am being honest. No, you don't like my answer. It's my answer. That's my legit answer. I don't know because
you have that answer about everything. You have that answer about everything.
It's not because no. I don't have that answer about everything. I have that answer about this because I don't know with everything that Hollywood does and everything the world does. Hollywood, one minute they love Trump, the next minute they hate him all of a sudden when he runs for president. You don't know what these people will do. Look at what Oprah did. Look at what Oprah did in Hawaii. Look at what The Rock's been doing. Look at what all these people do. Look at the list of people. Look at what they do. Like how this is not that far-fetched. Do I think it's what it is? Probably not. I don't think so. But could it be? It really could be. It could be.
I don't think it really couldn't be because it's stupid. We're
drawing
conclusions. We're drawing conclusions when you're showing pictures of John Cena cross-dressing and then people are saying, "Oh, John Cena next thing he's going to do is cross-dress."
Let me ask you this. Is it stupid?
Where were you talking about the humiliation rituals when that happened? And how come there's so many other Hollywood actors that have made it and haven't had to do these humiliation fucking tactics that I can remember? I don't remember fucking Robert Downey Jr. doing this. But you know what? Though? He was in a comedy movie and he one time dressed like a clown. Hollywood humiliation.
Do you want to talk about Robert Downey Jr.? Do you really want to talk about Robert Downey Jr. and what he did?
Yeah, he did a lot of coke. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, well, another guy, fucking Jeremy Renner. What did he do? He's in the fucking Avengers. Tell me an humiliation thing that he did. I would love to know. Or is anything that exposes yourself and laughing at yourself lightheartedly, are we going to just connect that to a ritual? And then bring up a bunch of these pseudo. Are we going to just
Luke?
Are we gonna bring up a bunch of these pseudo bullshit fucking politics that you heard on another YouTube fucking channel tell you about, and then link it to this and link it to that and link it to that? It's so fucking it's conspiracy theory.
Listen
bullshit.
to me really quickly. If you remember when there was a good amount of priests in the Catholic Church who were raping altar boys. There was a good amount of it going on, right? Like you could probably make a case that like 3% or so, something like that. Some weird, I don't know what the percentage is, but like it happened in New York, Boston, a couple other places, overseas, the Vatican, you name it. Like some weird stuff with sex crimes and children and altar boys and stuff like that. So like this would be like, well, so you're saying that the priests all just like to rape boys, like, and they're just out there. So what about your priest down the street that you go to, Father this guy? What about the priest that I grew up, Father this guy? Are they all just raping people? It's like, no, but there's a correlation going on here. Doesn't mean everybody in Hollywood has to do a ritual or something. It just means that there's a lot of that stuff floating around, and some people take the bait, some people don't. Some people get involved in it, some people don't. Some people are like Harvey Weinstein, and they make women have sex with them to be in movies. Some of them don't.
It's true.
Some of them, there's a casting couch, and people all know about the casting couch. Some of them are doing rituals, like when Amy Winehouse dies, and they have a corpse of her body, and people are eating off it and doing weird stuff to it. Why would you do that? This woman just died. There's all kinds of examples of this, and it doesn't mean that everything is true and everything is not. And I've told you already that if you made me put a gun to my head and said, "Is this a ritual that he's doing?" I would say no. But is it in the realm of what people would do in Hollywood for whatever reason? Yeah, and could it be somewhere in the middle? I mean, it could be, but
could be a couple degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Listen, I want everybody to know that I'm not mad at Joe really clickbaiting. Although clickbaiting as it is probably something you shouldn't do because it is a form of lying. But anyway, I mean, you can pretend all you want. It is a form of lying.
Keep hustling, Joe.
What?
This guy's saying this isn't a genuine news show. It's shock jock entertainment. I know it's shock jock entertainment. I'm saying, though, is when we're going to try to start to make these serious fucking arguments and then factor in all these other outside factors and try to connect them to what in reality is a dumb skit. I'm sorry. I just think it's stretching the truth. And it's also, when you put stuff in titles and when you make videos and stuff like that says this thing and that thing, all you're trying to do is draw in a certain amount of dumb people that already believe this shit and are going to believe this shit anyway, regardless of what you say, just to watch your video.
You're very
Why
triggered.
not title it?
Very triggered by the title. Huh?
I'm just triggered.
Go ahead.
Because it's not.
Why don't you let this guy speak?
Opinion.
Why don't you let this guy say some words? Now we've both ranted. Why don't you let the other guy talk?
Okay, Rostafa, go ahead.
That's not Rostafa. It's a different black guy. But go ahead. You're racist. Randall, thank you.
Yeah, Randall. Big fan of the show, by the way. Listening to your show for the better part of a decade. Listening to since high school, but
got a fire microphone. Got a good mic.
Trying to, but yeah. I mean, it's as simple as this, right? As far as everything's going, I know one thing, right? I don't think it's a humiliation ritual, right? I do think it might be related, but at the very least, we can at least know one thing that's going on, that if this ever comes up again, they're not going to be able to just fly under the radar and just get away with this type of stuff. People are going to be on it.
Well, I think that you're going to see you're going to see John Cena do more of this. I mean, this is his thing now. I mean, dressing up like a woman is a thing now for the last 10 years that Cena is always doing. So I.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think
Cena
it's
for sure.
But if John Cena enjoys it, because I've seen some other people saying that John Cena is a homosexual, if he enjoys this, then why is this something that we are all really that concerned about? I don't know about you guys. I could give a fuck what people in Hollywood do.
I don't care.
I think it has more to do with the fact that this is one of the first instances since the Cat Williams interview where people kind of became super aware of this, where you have a celebrity who's publicly kind of humiliating himself in a lewd manner, compared to other situations in the past, and now people are just starting to catch on. So, like I said, I don't think it's part of a humiliation ritual. It might have one degree of separation, but going forward, you could probably see
But if this was a woman, if this was
as well.
But also, if this was a woman doing this, would we be saying anything about it?
They never allow it. You cannot.
I'm just saying.
Lewdness for humor. That's just
I'm just saying. If a woman walked out dressed up like a retard or something, dressed up stupidly, and then did a dumb retard voice,
this would be the equivalent of the Trish Stratus situation from the 2000s, where she was on her knees barking like a dog in front of Vince, and people lost their fucking shit. And keep in mind, this was the early 2000s, right? Where people really didn't give a fuck about cancel culture, political correctness, all this stuff. It would be that times 1,000 now. That could not happen for a female celebrity in any regard.
And yes, I and all vel for I do believe I agree with you a lot. Conspiracy breeds fear. Don't believe exactly everything you hear just because someone has said it. And there's so many times where you hear these people who make these conspiracy theories who are just trying to fucking make and spread fear. So you can click on more of their videos that they title, "Oh, fucking Trump, or not Trump, Biden and fucking Kamala Harris working on human cloning." It's just bullshit that people are going to get you scared about. And and it could be anything really. This something is so simple as a fucking skit at the Oscars is now being debated as if it's an actual like topic or news story. It's not. And also this was designed by the Oscars and designed by the people who made this skit to get people talking, to get views, so people can actually pretend that the Oscars are anything relevant, which they're not. They suck.
I am curious, though. So what degree, Luke, do you believe that like stuff is going on behind the scenes as far as like a lot of like I know like some of the esoteric, stuff in the background, like maybe you don't believe in all of it, but it's like what degree, like would you acknowledge at least that like to some degree there is like some level of quid pro quo, like sketchy behavior that's going on in the background?
Of course, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's of course that's happening. I'm not denying that's happening, but I'm not gonna link weird conspiracy theory shit to anything now because of the Cat Williams interview or because of other stuff that's happened. I think people are so quick to jump the gun. I said it right this time. To jump the gun because they like to talk shit about people. Like the people in the chat, I've seen a few people even say it. Just let us talk about gay John Cena. So really, it's nothing to do with we're exposing the truth. It's more of okay, I just want to shit on somebody. I just want to talk shit about someone, and that's fine. But don't hide it under the guise of, and I'm sorry too. Don't hide it under the guise of I'm trying to like expose the truth or do something moralistic.
Or the idea that somebody actually was written in a script that says, okay, he dresses in drag, and he had the right to say, yeah, I'm not going to do the movie, but he decided to do the movie. So simple as that.
Well,
so
the devil asks you want to sell me your soul, and you decide if you want to sell him your soul or not.
Vin Diesel did it. I'm assuming just because, again, remember when he was wearing that leather kilt and like Kanye did the same thing a few years later?
I will say that
Kanye sold his soul to retardism.
There's a lot that's believable with what's said by Cat Williams as far as level of entry, refusing certain roles, certain things in certain roles, and then just being ostracized by the rest. Because you got to remember, like at that level at Hollywood, when it comes to like the acting, they're all very left leaning. They're all very liberal for a reason. So it's like they're very open to certain things as far as the way that men project themselves, the way that people project themselves.
Freaking Wyclef went to a swinger's house and he told the story on radio one time where apparently there was like a lot of like alternative sort of kind of like ritualistic type of things that were going on besides just like having like groupie sex and shit. He didn't get involved in that stuff, but pretty much it was kind of like some like some Caribbean sort of kind of like weird, what I mean? Like
I brought up Mustafa. I brought up the Amy Winehouse thing after she died, and Neil Patrick Harris had these parties. And like they had her like corpse cake there that looked just like her, and it was after her, and they were eating her, and they were wearing necklaces with like satanic things, and it's like, what? Like that's weird. Like Neil Patrick Harris.
Photos or anything?
Yeah,
like
there's fucking. I got photos everywhere of that for sure.
Jesus.
I mean, that's just one that I use because I know there's so much documentation of it, but there's lots of other ones that are rumored or celebrities talk about, and they let it slip.
Shit! I just realized something. 450 is a few weeks from now. I changed my mind. This is a ritual. John Cena can go to hell. He sucks. Fuck you. He's probably a rapist. Please love me again. I agree. Listen, I'm sorry. I had a differing opinion, and I think that maybe that this is a jumping the gun, dumb, stupid conspiracy I'm sorry. You guys are right. This is completely logical thinking.
It's so logical. It's logical.
I don't even.
That's a chip in your head, Luke.
Who is that?
No, that's Paul.
Well, let me introduce myself.
Oh, that's Dirty Nova.
Joe, I'm a new viewer to the show. They call me Carl the Conspiracist, and my conspiracy theory is Luke's stole nudes of my mom.
Balls to get you to voice that high? Jesus.
Wow, this is Carl. I don't know if you guys know this. This is Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. He's making a stop by to talk about the conspiracy theories with us.
Yeah,
Hey, Carl.
you kid. It's Carl the conspiracy
Oh, it's Carl. I'm sorry.
theorist.
I thought you were somebody else. Wink, wink.
Carl.
Yeah,
Shove it up
nice
your
to,
ass.
yeah,
Wait,
nice to
you curse?
talk to you, Carl.
You curse, Carl? You're grown now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my balls are in your mom's face, you asshole.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
yeah,
I'm
no,
not gonna
I'm
show
sure.
the corpse of Amy Winehouse cake because I feel like it could be too much for YouTube. But here is there's plenty of reports on Neil Patrick Harris apologizes for the Amy Winehouse death mockery. A resurfaced image of Neil Patrick Harris party at which a meat platter dish inspired by Amy Winehouse corpse was served has stirred up controversy.
And he had several of these parties, right? As you said.
Yeah, this isn't the only thing. Like, there's a lot. And,
Nah.
and all of a sudden, he
I mean,
can, and you know, it's you really got to look out for this. This is the thing to look out for, guys. I want to let you know this. I'm not saying you got to believe it. I don't believe 100% either. But there is a weird pattern with this. Somebody gets some fame, whether it's on their own or for whatever reason, and this is typically the pattern. Somebody becomes famous on their own somehow or gets popular somehow on their own, right? And then all of a sudden after that, when things aren't going as well, then they hit rock bottom, and then they have trouble, and then they, like, whatever happens, they go down. And all of a sudden, they resurface years later or at a later time. They get cleaned up, they come back, or they have some kind of reimagining, and suddenly they're back. And for whatever reason, for years they were failing and they were gone and nobody liked them. Then suddenly they're back. And for some reason, to me, it reeks of, like, you know, somebody was desperate. Like, it would be like I started the show, right? And in 2018, you know, we had thousands of viewers, more than we've ever had ever. It's 2016, 17, 18, my show. Now my show has much less viewership than it did. Now it's going up a little bit now again, but it has much less. And what it reminds me of is somebody calling me, hey, I'm from Hollywood, or I'm from YouTube, or I'm from whatever. I saw your show, you know. Like, wouldn't it be great if you could get back to those glory days and you didn't have to work 3 jobs now and you could get back to doing that? Wouldn't you want to do that? Like, oh yeah. All you have to do, you know, just come down and join. Like, and that's what it. I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going on, but, like, it's happened with so many people. Like, we talked about Robert Downey Jr. earlier. Robert Downey Jr., he had a couple of decent little movies that he was in. He did some, like, acting things, and then he hit rock bottom with drugs, and he disappeared, and nobody was booking him and stuff, and things went kind of bad for him. And then all of a sudden, he's a megastar. You know, so, like, what did he do? I don't know, but that's the type of thing we're talking about. Britney Spears, you know, she was in the mouse thing, and some things were going on, and then she had nothing going on, and then some producers got a hold of her. Did things go on? I don't know. But, like, Neil Patrick Harris, he was Doogie Howser, had a great career as a kid for a second. Then he got older, and he went to hell. Nothing happened. 15 years went by, did nothing. Now, all of a sudden, he's a big celebrity in Hollywood, and he's the one who throws
Broadway
corpse.
for a while. He did a lot of theatrical stuff for a while. Then he resurfaced in the filming and television stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like the latest thing that I remember him ever doing, and again, I don't know what he's doing now, but the last thing I saw him in was the 4th Matrix installment.
Yeah, he did. But now he's back. All of a sudden, he's done The Matrix. He's done Doctor Who. He's done a couple other big movies that were out recently. And it's all of a sudden like, why is this guy all of a sudden have these big movie roles? But I feel like he disappeared for a long time. So I'm not saying anything there. I'm just saying, but there seems to be this rebound thing that happens with many of these people who get accused of this or this satanic stuff that goes on.
Do you know the story with Carlos Santana on the Supernatural album that came out in like '99, I think it was? So
I mean, I remember the album, but I don't know.
So essentially what happened was Carlos Santana for like 20 years straight was just not putting out anything decent, mainly because he wanted to do his own thing. Basically, he was doing like jazz fusion type stuff, and it wasn't selling any records. Basically, it would have been what Jimi Hendrix would have been doing, and it wouldn't sell any records. However, though, he was still contracted with Clyde Davis. I can't remember the company it was. It might have been Columbia. It could be something else. But basically, it's like, yo, dude, you need to like come up with the goods. And basically, he did this in an interview where he basically said, yeah, so I got this spirit that I was worshiping and basically did this. I want to have the biggest album, the biggest this, the biggest that. And unlike Michael Jackson, where he spoke manifestation over himself, he practically like served this deity and then all of a sudden got all that success based on Supernatural, which had Smooth on it, which had Maria, all those classic songs. And then the next thing you know, apparently in the same interview, he said, well, I also had to owe a favor. And that favor was basically like, you have to like, sacrifice something so-and-so. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the details of what that was.
That's what it is.
It cost him something, but he was open about it.
Yeah.
Not everybody's open about that's not, like, for example, like a few years ago, there was these photos of Vin Diesel. I can't remember if it was at a premiere or some type of event. He was wearing like that leather black skirt or kilt or whatever it is you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I remember Kanye wearing that literally at a Relief concert. And I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute, I've seen that before. And then I found out later there's like something in the West Coast, and I'm not sure if it was originated in the States, but apparently there's like some type of society where that's a common practice of wearing that thing. And I believe it's European based. I could be wrong about that, but that's where I think where the Celtic sort of kind of kilt comes from. And it's just like all black, and there's like no
the
color at all.
kilt goes back to those druids in Scotland, and they're the pagans.
Yeah.
They're the ones that created Christmas and shit like that. They're the pagans, and I forget what the druids did, but there was a lot of that weird sort of paganistic stuff back in the day.
Very underground.
Yeah, and so the favor that's owed, that's exactly what we're talking about. That's what it means when you sell your soul. That's a thing, and many Hollywood people have talked about this for real, without realizing what they're saying, or made a little joke about it when they're not kidding, and eventually you see like there's a weird pattern.
What was that movie with the Karate Kid? He played music up against Steve Vai. You know what I'm talking about, Joe? I can't remember the movie, but basically that kid did the actor played a character where basically he wanted to be like a really good guitar player and musician, and towards the end he's going up against Steve Vai, he was mentored by somebody who sold his soul to at the crossroads, like that whole story. So basically the moral of the story was he basically did these arpeggios that are essentially like God gifted, that whole thing, and he went up against Steve Vai, who was contracted with the enemy, and basically the goal of the duel was, if I win, you have to release the contract on my mentor's soul. If you don't, then you take both of us. He ends up winning, spoiler alert. And but it's a really interesting scene if you ever get a chance. It's basically a guitar duel.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool.
I'll check that out.
So yeah, but at the same time though, like that's essentially what a lot of musicians, I'm only speaking mainly from musicians' point of view, what they normally, you would think, like people like Dylan or people like a lot of blues players like Robert Johnson, and you hear those stories, but the thing is, there's never really exact evidence. Like they might have said something and that might have gotten around, but there's never an actual proof of that.
Yeah,
and
I don't know why that. I don't know why that is, but there's examples of this and people admitting to it, so it's weird. And I'm not the biggest religious person, but a lot of the Hollywood people like attack Christianity and attack religion and attack God and things like that
because they don't want to be told what to do. That's the problem.
Yeah, and
I mean that there's a whole background to this. I mean, me personally, I think that the CIA discovered the spirit world in the 20th century, and if you just look back at like the readings of like Robert Monroe and a lot of like more esoteric stuff. I mean,
now you're talking about alternative spirituality, correct?
Yeah, I'm talking about like multi-dimensional.
Oh yeah. Like New Age.
It's the confusion too.
I think that there's a lot to that. I think that a part, like one of the many aspects of it is, the demonic, more satanic type of, cult ritual type of stuff, Bohemian Grove, all that stuff.
False God.
And I think when you get to the nitty gritty of it, I think that they're accessing a certain type of powers that I don't know what the cost of it is, but I mean, you can laugh all you want, but it's like, I think
it's ridiculous that we've gotten to this point talking about the spirit world.
But again, a lot of people, like, again, they take it as seriously as like, let's say somebody that would take Christ seriously, like I would, or somebody that, would look towards Buddha, but they're doing it in an alternative way because either A, they got hurt or traumatized when they were a child, and that ended up making, again, poor decisions later on, or it could be, you know, bad parenting, bad household. Whatever the situation is, you can end up in deep shit, and it can cost you almost everything. I mean, like guys like, you know, again, we said Cat Williams, maybe even Dane Cook, who practically got out of Hollywood because they got screwed over by management, maybe because they wanted them to do something that they didn't want to do.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
beyond
you
that.
got to be. It's also we don't know if it's a religion thing.
Sorry, I was just going to say Cat Williams failed because he's a hack and he's not that funny. That's my opinion.
Clay, Andrew Dice Clay is a freaking train wreck in my opinion. I'd rather deal with Cat Williams than Andrew Dice Clay.
I mean, that's I'm not a. Hey yo, wait! I don't even know how to do a fucking Andrew Dice Clay impression. Do you remember me? I remember apparently there was a story of him like making people like return his food or something like that, or he would ask for like steak cook and they would give it to him in the wrong way, and he's like, do you remember when I told you? Do you remember when I told you to do it this way and you did it this way? Do you remember that? That's the only...
I put a bullet in my head.
Just...
But no, here's the other thing about the dimensional thing. It's very interesting because they may have access or know how to get access and whatever. And there could be a couple of things going on, right? There could be legit angels and demons, like Bible stuff where there's God. But it could also be that the angels and demons are confused. Like imagine that there is other dimensions, right? And some other dimensions in multi-universe, we know that could be going on. And if that's the case, right? Imagine that if in one of the dimensions, you know, there's entities that they're bad,
Right.
that they're evil, that like doing crazy things, and they like fucking with us, and they're kind of crazy. And then imagine in the other world, there's beings and stuff like that who are good, and they're like trying to show us that to be good, and they want us to do well, and all that sort of thing.
And defenders and all that type of stuff.
Right. So I mean, like take the religion out of it and make that, and maybe that's an interpretation. Not to say the religion's not real, but I'm not a big believer in anything. I'm very agnostic, or whatever you call it. But I do. But Hollywood hates religion.
I don't listen. Religion. It just comes down to it's like where do you think we go after we leave this earth? Like where do you think we go? Where do you think we came from? You know, do you think we just came from rocks?
I have a very open-minded opinion about not religion, but more of just anything. I don't know what's at the end of life or, you know, the universe. You know, could be a deity, could be a fucking flying space turtle. Like
I hope it's a big dick.
Stephen. It could be a big dick. Could be a giant dick with eyes. But for all we know, there is nothing, or there is something. I mean, I don't. That's not what I'm like. I keep an open mind about that stuff. So when I was laughing about the spirit world stuff, I wasn't laughing at the idea that there could be that, because I'm not that ridiculous to think that's impossible. We've literally seen UFOs. We know aliens exist, whether or not we're going to pretend that. We know aliens do exist. So, you know, I think, there's a plausibility that, that Hollywood really is feeding off of some sort of satanic or, ritualistic power. But, jumping to conclusions from that, from a stupid skit is, this is where like people are going to not take you seriously at all. And, everybody keeps saying, well, they can't hide this. They can't deny this anymore. Yeah, they can. Because you know why? Because immediately when your first case and point and argument of, they're doing fucked up shit. Well, what do you know? Well, listen, this goes back to the 20s when they found the spirit world and other dimensions. People are going to check out. People are going to check out and just lump you in with the rest of the conspiracy.
You want to start from like the ground up. I'm just saying, like, if you want to I'm just getting from from one end of the rabbit hole to the other. It's like you get to a certain point where eventually that's where you come to the conclusion to. But obviously, like I said before, like I don't think this is even in a relation to any humiliation ritual. Yeah. But if you want to go deep enough into the rabbit hole,
listen,
I find yourself somewhere in that aspect.
I want to be in a humiliation ritual. All right, fuck it, do it. As long as Rhea Ripley. As long as Rhea Ripley is the one who's doing it to me, I'll fucking go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
There's a cost. There's always a cost.
Hold on, let me give you guys two scenarios. So basically, like, you want to talk about, like, whether we come from something or not. Let me give you an idea. So you realize, and we're talking about, like, the idea of aliens, like, possibly being out there. I believe there's life elsewhere because if you look at Mars, right? Mars has an ice cap. It's made of water, organisms, and molecules. So there technically still is life because, again, water, we're made up of 70% of water, the human body. And there's a process with that. And there's definitely a harmonious process with that. But then there's also, again, we talk about matter. You got your protons and and all that. So basically, we all are matter. You can't be created, can't be destroyed, right? So again, we all do come from somewhere. The idea is that I think people just don't want to be told necessarily what to do or as people would say, preach to. But the idea is, like, if you know for a fact that you're doing something wrong consistently and fumbling and stumbling, and yet you want it to stop, and yet you're not doing anything about it, you're basically going up against free will and all that stuff.
Being possessed right now because you were scaring me.
I'm
You're like
walking up a hill right now. I'm
okay. Hey, well, you know what? This has been insane, like all of this. But well, there's also a few other topics that I wanted to talk about. If that's okay, Joe. I don't know if you're
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's two things. One, I wanted to talk about Raw because we never got the chance to review it, and it was actually a pretty good episode of Raw last night. And then two, apparently Lana and Rusev got divorced.
7.5 years, and they're gone. By the way, Lana goes on Twitter. Lana goes on Twitter and says, "Oh my God, I hate you all. I can't be out of here for like 18 minutes, let alone 18 months." And you guys are already commenting on something that's private. And she's right to a degree, but again, TMZ broke it, I believe, and it's public domain, so pretty much anybody can talk about it, really.
The red pill wins again.
Pretty much, yeah. Real quick though, and I want to
Sigma Rusev. Get ready for that. Sigma Miro.
Oh God,
Sigma Miro.
No, but going back to Raw, what did you guys think of the Maxine angle? Because we saw a little bit of that inkling last week where they kind of brought up what happened at that live event, but now they're going full board with it.
Oh yeah, I listen. It was a I thought it was awkwardly delivered, but at the same time, I liked it. I liked what Candice LeRae said, but I thought Maxine was a little, I don't know. She just didn't really sell it that well. She didn't look like she was sad. She looked like she got surprised because of her birthday party, So she didn't really sell it too well. And then the kick that beat her was so pathetic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she barely gets any. Who's the lady that Candice LeRae tags with? I know Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell barely hits Maxine with a boot and is able to win. And it must have been really confusing for the people that were watching that match who didn't hear exactly. Yeah,
we got it, but it was just the execution of it was kind of off. But I will say though, the dialogue was interesting. And we didn't even know that she even had a brother up until this point. And then all of a sudden, like Wrestle Talk and all these other different wrestling outlets actually posted the story. And I'm like, damn, this is okay. This is good. I like some a little bit of reality with some fiction. But again, the fact that she even gave the okay, or Maxine that is, let's see where it goes. Let's see if she improves or not. That's what it comes down.
Can I say something about this though?
Yeah.
And this is something that's just I can't stand this aspect of wrestling, right? Like I'm like a wrestling fan on and off, depending on like the time. Right now, The Rock is involved, so I'm all in, right? But what the hell is up with like these? Like they have this idea, right, that the essence of a heel is somebody who is just objectively bad in like no realistic sense. It's like shitting on somebody's dead brother. It's like, do you ever see anyone like that in real life who isn't mentally ill? You know,
all the time.
Ready ever talking about people being dead
to someone's face? Like that is an objectively like insane thing to do. Like a good heel, a good bad guy in any movie, any story, in history are people that at least have like some sort of like realistic motive. They have some sort of like realistic explanation of like how they believe what they believe. Like how does any realistic person justify like, oh, fuck you and your dead brother?
Well, no, dude.
I mean, no. Listen. That's a realistic thing because here's the thing. First of all, Candice LeRae, she already stated that she didn't she's annoyed that Maxine would even like give her advice in the first place. When Maxine sucks and she's a career veteran, then Maxine tries to do some embarrassing worm thing, and it's like, no, dude, you're not doing that on us. You suck. You think it's bad what we said. So Maxine is, or Candace, she's angry and stuff. And sometimes when you're angry, at least when I'm angry and I get into arguments, like I don't even feel emotion. I just say mean shit. I say mean shit and then I don't think about it. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
I've never heard
sometimes,
that in a realistic situation. I don't know. That's just me.
I've heard it. Well, I've heard it. I've heard it from multiple people. I've heard people say stuff to me. I mean, listen, people make fun of my dead father and stuff like that. I've heard, man, people make fun of Tommy's dead barber all the time.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's worthy of getting like punched in the face at the very least.
But that's the thing, though. It's a story that's being developed, and whether or not it's going to be good or bad is up to you. But at the end of the day, if there's a follow-up, it's going to keep you intrigued. That's the whole point of layering it out segment by segment, week by week. Now, granted, there were things that we wish we could just get to the point, because sometimes when you drag a story out, it's meaningless to just drag it, because again, if there's no context, let alone any development between the two or more parties, then it's meaningless to do. But I'm actually invested in this because the thing is, we all know that Maxine Dupree is entertaining to a degree. She's been working her ass off. Somebody made a comment and live at an event. People were getting butthurt about it because, oh, you're so mean. That's wrestling. You can say and do whatever you want as long as it's not racist or religious, deprived or this or that, as long as it's within the context of, okay, somebody has an opinion, you don't have to agree with it. And if you want to say, okay, let's see her develop and get better. Well, the fact is that Triple H, who's the head of creative, said, guess what? This went viral. Let's do something with it. Because if this was Vince McMahon's world, guarantee you right now, we wouldn't be seeing this right now.
I guess. I mean, I see that aspect of it. I just wish there was a more realistic, like, movement as far as heels go, where it comes to like these guys just having more of a, I don't know, maybe something like similar to like anime, where it's like people could in theory agree with the bad guy or the heel or the villain of a certain story, depending on like their their perspective.
I'm getting sick of that trope, because there's so many times where the villain has a motivation that's perfectly clear and actually is like a perfectly reasonable person, and honestly what they believe in is good, but then at the same time, listen, I just want to stop world hunger, and I want to bring world peace. Oh, good, that's great. Well, I also want to bomb a whole fucking city full of people. Like it's retarded. So yeah, that's so stupid. Or not so stupid. Like, not saying what you're saying is stupid, but I'm saying there's so many times where they try to make a villain too relatable or too likable to the point where like, why is he even a villain? Oh, it's because he's a violent murderer. Okay, that doesn't make any sense though. I thought everything he said was peace and he was a good dude. I mean, we also have villains like that or heels like that in WWE. Drew is the perfect example of the reasonable heel, but his reasonableness is slowly deteriorating because instead of trying to improve or just being like, you know what, you're right, and just trying to move on from the bullshit, he just focuses on the negativity and he complains and blah, 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 and he cries about it. And he's a hypocrite. He becomes a hypocrite as he's done. All the matches that he's won recently, none of them have been by his own accord. He's either had help from other members in the Elimination Chamber, help from the Bloodline. Yeah, exactly.
And Luke, let me add on to that real quick. So obviously we've all seen Star Wars. You know about Darth Vader, right? There have been times where Darth Vader, like for example in Episode 3, Episode 5, where he says to Padme or he says to his own son, where it's like, you don't understand the power that I possess or the power that the Emperor possess. And you know what I mean? It is your destiny to be a part of, my empire or this kingdom. And going to the point where it's just like, oh, I can overthrow the Emperor and you and I can, rule the galaxy. Or he says to Luke, we can rule the galaxy as father and son, when all they want is just put him to the dark side, which is just the main goal. However, though, what they have to do is basically take over everything or destroy everything in order to, in their mind, bring peace. In a villain's mind in a wrestling story, is to justify their truth to the point where you cannot argue it. At the same token, though, if the baby face is not, first of all, morally strong enough for the fans to believe in, why would we think that this person can win against this enemy, despite the fact you could put all the momentum behind? Like, for example, Dusty Rhodes in the 80s was the ultimate baby face going up against Ric Flair, the ultimate heel who always got outside interference, or, you know, the time would run out, or he would try to find any little way to slither away and yet still talk trash on a weekly basis, even if he was in another country, so that tape can go around this and that so they can set up the match. Now remember, Cody Rhodes last year lost to Roman. Same thing with Dusty Rhodes, lost to Flair in a cage and got the beat down on him. And he had to keep fighting back as a one-man wrecking crew. And that's exactly what ended up happening with Dusty beating Flair. And hopefully in this case, Cody beating Roman, because the idea of you can live in a truth for so long, which, by the way, the Bloodline storyline, and I think we can all agree, one of the most exceeded and most developed storyline that spread about, 4.5 years. And the fact that it's gone this strong and it's kept the people interested, even though there are people that said they're tired of Roman, you're still watching Roman. And I think going forward with all these other stories with Drew, with Maxine and her situation, again, we're going to see more development from characters, especially since that Kevin Dunn and Vince are not there when it says to don't say pro wrestling, don't say this, don't do this, don't walk like this, don't talk like this. And it's unfortunate because you feel bad for a lot of stars over the past 15, 20 years who have dealt with Vince and couldn't grow based upon the opportunities that all the stars have now, especially them coming from the indies going to WWE.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry, I'm fucked up. I forgot what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to try to move it on to more of Raw because we got stuck on this. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So we have the opening promo segment between Drew and Seth, and I thought honestly this is one of Seth and Drew's best promos they've cut in a while. I mean, Drew's been cutting great promos, but I mean, this was a great one tonight. But Seth tonight was. Or I keep saying tonight because I think we're doing the Raw review. Last night, sorry.
Yeah. So
Seth last night was really good.
Yeah. He's got that on one knee. He's asking Drew, come on, hit me. You want to talk about, you want to do this and that? Well, hit me from behind. And Seth gave the moment of the promo that made the most sense to me and that sold it for me was, you know what I mean? You want to know why I don't make you my priority? Because you're beneath all the priorities that I have now because you're just minor. I've already beaten you twice. I beat you, live. You wanted to do such and such, but you couldn't pull the trigger on, whether it be cheating or doing this or that because you wanted to be a fan favorite. Yes, okay, you can argue you got robbed of your moment because of the pandemic. You got robbed because such and such, the bloodline interferes in your matches. But when it comes to WrestleMania, there's nobody that's going to, such and such give you an excuse unless if like somebody interferes on your behalf, which could potentially happen. I personally don't want bloodline interfering in the match. But again, if you're going to have Rock interfere in Seth Rollins' match with Drew, yes, you can potentially maybe make a Rock-Seth match later down the line, maybe SummerSlam. But again, this still comes down to just the simple fact that Drew at least gets his shot. And personally, I feel he needs to go over on this one because Seth needs to come out of WrestleMania broken in so many ways.
Seth should turn. If Seth's going to turn on Cody, by the way, I've seen that predicted a lot. If Seth's going to turn on Cody, it should be after WrestleMania. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you really go through with Seth turning on Cody and costing him the title, you're shooting yourself in the foot with that storyline because nobody's going to care. The only people that will care really are kind of markish kids, and that's not making fun of like kids who watch wrestling. Yeah, but the kids are going to be like, "What the fuck? I want Cody to get revenge on Seth." But most people who are watching now are kind of smarter fans. I feel so. The smarter fans, kind of like me, are just going to get fed up with this shit. Like, oh, okay, so Cody doesn't finish the story again. We go to another year of Cody not finishing the story. We end another WrestleMania with Roman having the title. We have Seth turn a fucking heel after he just turned face like last year. I don't know. I'm just It's not a. It's really not a good thing to do at WrestleMania. I would not be happy with it. A lot of people wouldn't be. And I think the reason why they're planting seeds by Michael Cole asking, "Oh, well, why would you trust Seth?" and stuff like that. They're planting seeds on both sides to make it seem like, well, a turn could happen. Rock could turn on Roman because remember, Roman made Rock acknowledge him, and even though Rock did acknowledge him, he still did the L finger point, and he still kind of, he gave Roman a look where it seemed like, yeah, I didn't really want to do that, but I'm just gonna deal with that shit right now. So I think they're just trying to set up this guy might turn on someone or this guy might turn on someone sort of angle just to swerve you, because the biggest swerve that might actually happen at WrestleMania, the biggest swerve would be if Cody just beat Roman. That to me, that would be the biggest swerve because everybody else is already predicting that there's going to be some sort of bullshit finish. The biggest swerve would just be Cody just straight up beats him in a one-on-one match. No outside interference, no other bullshit. Not saying that's going to happen. But, I see people saying that Cody winning would be too predictable. But then there was also the same amount of people saying that Cody's losing and that's going to be predictable. So that's one thing I like about the match is that they've really tried to keep it as unpredictable as possible. It's really hard.
With the tag match included, because the thing is that you don't know who's going to get pinned. And even if they choose the right decision to figure out who's going to get pinned, there's also another decision that could be right, maybe even better in long term. Because again, WWE, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, there is a long-term plan, especially the day after. So these two matches, or actually really the three, including Seth and Drew, this basically conjures up what opponents are going to be placed before the champions coming out of Mania. For Cody, you literally have 4. You have Seth, that could be potentially an opponent again. You have Rock, who could be an opponent. You have Roman being a returning opponent, maybe for 1 or 2 pay-per-views if he wants to dip out for a bit to take a rest. And then potentially maybe other ones like Randy Orton you could turn heel and bring over to Raw or whatever you want to do. And again, it's mainly building enough heels to last you for the main couple shows like SummerSlam and Survivor Series going forward. That's what it is. And then, of course, as far as baby faces go, because Cody's like the ultimate baby face, even more so above Seth, who are going to be the new baby faces that are coming up, especially from, the guys that were in NXT that are in the mid card or maybe, lower mid card. You got like Chad Gable, which, by the way, that gauntlet match was fire. I actually love that gauntlet match.
That gauntlet match. I mean, first of all, JD McDugan, whatever his name is, JD and Ricochet had a really, really fucking good open. Like that match went long. I thought it was good. Like it went a good, I think 2-3 commercial breaks, and there was false finishes left and right. It was a really good starter. And then, it kind of, I think it did slow down a little bit as the other entrances came in.
Those guys, yeah.
Or, Shinsuke Nakamura. Somebody said something funny the other day about Shinsuke. They said, Luke, do you like Shinsuke? I think Shinsuke stopped doing his karate promos. And I think they meant anime promos, but they just lumped it in with karate. I thought that was funny. Anyway, Chad Gable and Sammy got in, and they just had a great match with each other. And Chad looked amazing. He just looked so fucking, not just with his performance, but dude, the guy has an 8-pack, I think. The guy looks amazingly shredded. Some people say he'll never be a world champion because of his height. I really don't think that's a factor, bro. This guy has what it takes and has the look of a guy who will be big deal. It's just they need to fucking push him. They just really need to push him.
Feel about him. Like, remember, Kurt Angle was like maybe 6'1", 6'2", but yet he was still a badass. And the thing with Chad Gable is, I followed him even when he was with Jordan in NXT when they were the tag champs. I think they were American Alpha. Bro, that match that they had with FTR at NXT TakeOver 2016 is one of my favorite tag team matches I ever saw. mainly because you had guys that were hungry, FCR being very old school as far as like, again, like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. And then you got this great Olympic style, tag team that could just take punishment, but then give it out also. Chad Gable, I mean, again, the match that he had with Gunther for the IC belt, or even for I think there was a tag match even with him too, again, showed that he was not only a great, again, pairing with him in a group as far as Alpha Academy, but then also getting out of like, this sort of kind of comedy shtick and get serious. And every time when he does that German suplex with the bridge, I'm like, my dude, you have lats on lats. This brother, I remember there was a point where I remember talking to a friend of mine about Chad Gable. I'm like, how much do you want to bet he's going to be the world heavyweight champion in about 5 years or less? And he's like, I give it less.
He really could be. And I mean, the reaction from the crowd says it all. He is over. I don't understand how Triple H, the guy who's the booker, he knows that the Alpha Academy, specifically Chad Gable, is over. And yet he never does anything with them besides like one or two things. Like, okay, Chad, we need you to fill in a role here. Oh, we need you to fill this TV feud role. Okay, but what after that? Let's all think about it. Why? I just don't understand. Like it was different when, we blamed it on Vince's booking, but now Triple H is in charge, and this is someone that I feel like really fits the mold for a Triple H type of wrestler, and he's almost given. Oh my God, that's loud. But yeah, he's almost given nothing to do. And and that's why I didn't think he was going to win, because outside of the past few weeks, since losing to Gunther, he had nothing going on, like nothing at all. And also, I don't think
than that, but other than that, nothing really too serious. But yeah, a couple tag team.
Yeah, but that's about it. Just a couple of appearances. I mean, I remember him not being on TV that much. And Chad Gable. Also, here's the thing, why I wasn't too upset that he lost and why Sammy won. Because one, it was an incredible match. Two, I like Sammy. And then three, is that Gunther is going to retain at WrestleMania anyway. So there's really no point of putting Chad there to lose again. I really don't see Gunther losing the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. Like, we have Gunther, who's going to be a dominant force. I mean, honestly, against Sami Zayn, which, by the way, he had an amazing 2023. The unfortunate thing is, though, as much as this is a fresh start for both Sami and Gunther as far as a fresh match, I still don't see Sami going over, and it's heartbreaking because this guy is good, and that he's more than willing to hold the title, especially a singles title at this point, and especially not being a heel anymore, and the crowd wanting and begging, for the creative, like, come on, get behind Sami. And again, it's not to say that he still can't beat Gunther. I just don't feel it's going to be a Mania.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I don't see them doing it at Mania is because two things. One, it just doesn't feel like the time. It just doesn't feel like it's been built up to that moment yet. And I think, like you said, Sammy might win it another time, and this potentially could lead to a series of matches, which I would not be complaining about at all. Where eventually Sammy gets the win. But I don't think, another reason why I don't think they're going to take the title off of Gunther at WrestleMania is because Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. Roman Reigns is the longest reigning champion of the modern era. So, you take the title off of Gunther, you're kind of, are you gonna do two major champions lose their championship at WrestleMania? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
so
the thing is,
I
look at
weird
Roman.
coincidence.
Oh, go ahead.
Just saying, it would be a weird coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like Gunther being the longest reigning IC champion to basically Roman's number one as he's number two. That's not a bad thing, especially when here's a guy that morphed from who he was in NXT UK to what he is now is incredible. And again, I still put it over. That triple threat match that I saw last year at WrestleMania was probably one of his best matches, if not his best match. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys in the chat or a lot of guys saying, well, what about his matches outside of WWE when he was in, all the UK independents? Well, I'm like, yeah, they're great. But again, you trying to get 3 top-notch athletes, let alone all of them being European, one from Scotland, one from, I believe, Austria, and then the other one from Ireland. And they're all just badass, top-notch guys that just beat the crap out of each other because they want to win a match. It wasn't like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage, but it was a different kind of match where, because normally I'm not the biggest fan of triple threat matches, but every once in a while there's a triple threat match that makes sense. And that one made sense, especially at WrestleMania where they went all out. But, let's talk about the Cody segment real quick. How do you felt it start off? How do you felt it finish? Take it away.
I thought it was a really good promo. The only reason why I ever get annoyed with Cody crying is because I know that there's just going to be a shit ton of trolls who are going to go, fucking Cody cried. So now when I see Cody ever get emotional now, I'm not mad at him because I can't take him seriously. I'm more just mad at like, now I'm going to have to see that shit in the comments all the time now. It's just annoying. But I really liked his promo. I liked that they're now again focusing on kind of the whole crux of this whole story, which is finishing the story. I feel like the past month we've kind of gotten diluted from that, and we started focusing more on, The Rock slapped me. Are you going to be in my corner? Are you going to be a tag team? Or is this going to be a tag team match? So we kind of lost focus on what the actual main event for WrestleMania is, which is Cody versus Roman. And I think this week on SmackDown, since Cody kind of got to talk by himself, I think this week on SmackDown, Roman should talk by himself. He should get some chance to just talk about Cody Rhodes because...
So I wish that would be so, but the issue is that since Rock is here, the focus is mainly on, both of them, if not all of them. So you're probably not going to get that promo until maybe the week after because Rock is still scheduled for Memphis. And most likely Rock will be at the last week for Mania weekend because you got to promote the final bit of that to, for both PLE buys as well as ticket buys. But I think it's anything next week, maybe.
Rostov, are you excited for that 30-minute entrance so he can get into the ring?
I'm already booking time to put things on mute, put my feet up, maybe make a pizza or something like that. And by the time they start talking, I'll be ready to eat.
What I just don't like the stalling and useless filler in Rock's promos, and this is something that I don't see people talk about. I love the Rock's promos for the most part. Not more of his most recent stuff, but most of the time I really like the Rock's promos. But it's when it's stuff like, oh, let's talk about the town for like 10 minutes. Can you please just move on? Move to the promo. Get to the actual promo.
Well, the other thing is, Luke, is that there's also a lot of these delayed responses because of the crowd chanting. And we forget about that a lot because sometimes
I'm sorry, bud. Your mic is cutting out, so I don't know if that's just me or Discord or if everybody's hearing that.
Or whatever for like what seems like an eternity, and that can also delay other things like that as well.
Yeah. I didn't get to hear a lot of what you said because it kind of cut out, but I think I know what you were saying.
My bad. So basically, the moral of the story is that, like, again, you would have Roman who's, letting, like I said, the crowd, like, let it get it and then just drag it based upon the response. And then, of course, really enunciate certain words to make them, long and make them, trying to get to the point. I mean, even Paul Heyman is a master at this and he'll do it as well. But that's the reason how they get a lot of their heat is by over exaggerating and over enunciating their language, because they want to feel like they're upper crust and that whole kind of thing.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. It's fucking someone just happened. I was like, I don't know. I got distracted. Some people in the chat I know people say don't read the chat; it's annoying. Well, you know what?
Let's acknowledge the chat.
Love them or hate them, I like to interact with the chat. So that's another reason to vote for me for 450 because I actually pay attention to you guys. Joe does not. I'm just saying, Joe doesn't pay any of you guys attention. I do. So,
you got any questions from the chat?
Owl Hater says that Owl Hater says Roman can't talk. Give him 2 minutes to talk. That's all he has. Give Roman a 20-minute promo, and it will snap. And it'll be snap time. I don't know what that means. I think Roman has said a lot of great. He's cut a lot of great promos that have been well over 2 minutes. 20. Listen, you can. I understand the hatred for babyface Roman. Don't get me wrong. Babyface Roman was complete ass at promos, but heel Roman, for the most part, has been one of the best talkers in wrestling. So I just don't agree with that. Another person, Hostess Design Studio says that Cody is just a top-notch promo and he already feels like a champion. The time has come for the belt change. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Daddy's back. Daddy's back. Where did Daddy go forever? I'm back.
I was already here. But did you hear the Meltzer? It was like a Meltzer gag that somebody did on Twitter. It's so freaking funny. He basically does all of his mannerisms.
I'm so mad that I wasn't here because you had so many good things you guys said I wanted to go back to, but now I forget them all. But when I go back,
no, we're just basically talking about Raw and going forward as far as what we're going to see in the main event scene, and especially also in the mid card. I mean, again, I can't wait to do the breakdown of Mania when we have the complete card, or at least most of it. Because
we do have a new match. We do have a new match announced, and me and Joe got what we wanted, a fucking ladder match. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting.
It wasn't for the U.S. belt. It wasn't for the IC belt. It was for the tag belt.
Did you not laugh when they said that? I was like, I laughed out loud.
It's a 12 men. Well, not technically 6 teams, but 12 men in a ladder match.
They're like, you guys want a ladder match? I've been listening to Joe and Luke for like 6 months now. We'll give you a super ladder match. You've never.
Joe, actually, someone said that. They were like, Luke, in the Discord, they're like, Luke, I think that WWE creative are listening to you and Joe because they just did the ladder match just like you just said. Cody's reasoning for turning down, for giving Rock the spot at WrestleMania was exactly what I said. Like I said that was going to be the reason, and it's exactly the reason. And then also he said that they stopped doing the Shinsuke karate promos because we shat on them.
They also fired Kevin Patrick the week that I went insane on Kevin Patrick, and I had all these video examples. Is the week they fired Kevin Patrick, bro. Think about it.
Road Dogg called and he's like, "Listen, I would just fire him because I think this motherfucker's gonna kill him."
Dude, it was the week that I was doing. I'm doing audio descriptions. I mean, this guy's been there a bit, and the week that I went after him in all those videos, he was gone. It was very weird. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Like, I never wanted to see him get fired. I just wanted to see him move to another. He was always like doing damage control on that, but I understood completely because again, it's like you were talking about him for weeks too, Joe. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, he was doing a subpar job trying to things over and just doing weird things that just meant nothing. And again, the mannerisms and let alone the energy just didn't work for him in that role. Could he be done maybe backstage stuff and be successful at it? Kind of like Byron Saxton? Yeah, of course. But again, we'll never know now because now he's fired, and I think he's now with MLW, I believe, or one of the indie promotions. So
imagine he gets fired from every job he does, and eventually he's working at like Wawa or whatever.
No. He's calling
you
soccer.
You guys are gonna see
Kevin Patrick's.
You guys are gonna see me. Oh, okay, that's cool. You're going to see me and Kevin Patrick take a selfie with each other at Wawa. That'll be his new job.
And then you can, and then you're going to have to go to Wawa naked and do a humiliation ritual. It'll be great.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years.
If I have to hear that word one more time.
In all that time have I ever
Seabass
felt,
the Beast,
until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Luke, you have to beat that monkey Shiner J Menace at 450. Cena
Oh
has
my
always been the butt
God.
of the joke for years.
Oh. Yeah, Seabass the Beast. Cena's been the butt of the joke for years. Yeah, that's true. It's been kind of a butt plug for years. That was an hour ago that he donated that.
Familiar.
Oh, hi, Tommy. How you doing, brother?
Hi, Tommy.
Hi. I was saying that insult sounded very familiar.
Yeah.
Tommy, did anybody ever tell you that anybody ever tell you your voice feels like someone's getting
Evening,
molested?
Joe and chat. I'll be bringing a JCS sign to Raw next Monday, 18th,
Yeah.
here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm gonna label the sign MT 450, with names of everyone fighting for the Mount Championship.
Oh, my God. Welsh is
Make sure
bringing
the
to
font is green.
monetize this
You gotta make sure
sign.
the font is green and black marker.
Yep, green sign, black marker usually works pretty good, D. Welsh. D. Welsh, thanks for the $5, brother.
I'll just bring. Okay, so he's gonna bring the sign with the. Okay, so he's gonna do what we told him to do. He's gonna bring the sign with all of our names on it, kind of like a match card for 450. I only called a little bit of that. Sorry.
Phone booths for all, photo booths for all. Luke's meat riding Cena while Jay sucks his dong. It's Luke's time of the month while Jay Menace would think that Jim Jones was a saint as he would drink his Kool-Aid.
Oh.
How am I meat riding Cena when I shat on him? I literally, I know it's a joke. But seriously though, I shat on the guy. I called him fake. I said he's a shill. I don't think it's a ritual. Oh, he's meat riding.
Well, you're protecting Cena, I think is, I mean, that's what he means. Retro Neon, D. Welsh, Seabass, thank you for those donos, and we got a shit bomb. Couple of more to get through before we
What's
get out of
funny
here.
about Cena coming on stage naked?
What's funny about Cena? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing
It
with
was kind of bad in a way because it was like I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, they were just celebrating the 50th anniversary of this gag that happened, I think in like '74, and they were just trying to redo it. But
wait,
it's just like,
wait a minute. I don't know about that. What's that? Is there something I'm missing?
so apparently it was written that this same deal was done at the '74 Oscar Awards, from what I understand it, and this was. I can't remember the actress or the actor, whoever it was, but somebody had done it as a joke. And there have been instances where this has been a gag on television over the years, whether it be 90s sitcoms or this and that. But it was so random that this happened. There was no like inkling, like, okay, they're actually doing this.
No, it was just a streaker.
Yeah.
It was just a streaker. A guy named Robert
Pope. That's not done normally these days. And if anything, it's barely ever done at all.
I don't think it's related to anything other than he's in a weird movie where he's a shock Hollywood star, does weird sex things and crazy things, and that's what this was. I don't think anything else. That's it.
Well, I mean, if it's the fifth, it's a little weird. That's literally the 50th anniversary, and the guy was naked up there, and now 50 years later, I mean, I think that it might have been an homage. So, but I mean, you know what? Maybe that's just a part of the ritual.
You should have been running then.
But here's the thing. It's like if you're going to do an homage, you obviously make mention of it on the show. But the thing is, they didn't, which I find completely like irresponsible to a certain degree. But at the same time, it's like, hey, it's live TV. Do whatever you want to do, and they pretty much do all the time. I mean, the whole thing with the whole Batman thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that whole deal. I was just like looking at this, going, "Oh my God, you used to be so much funnier." I like with this, bringing all the comics together or bringing something funny to the show, and it was just
Arnold.
bland.
Are you saying Arnold used to be funnier?
Well, not just Arnold, but just like whatever the gags are written for them are usually funnier.
No, because dude,
I mean,
none of these writers know, dude. The writers in Hollywood are retarded. They're all under 30 years old. They have no real life experience, and they don't know real comedy. Look at Saturday Night Live. And by the way, Arnold Schwartz, a butt plug, is the guy who told you all to stay in and throw your masks on. So he's a nutcase too.
Well, the other thing that I find even more atrocious is like, I remember when we were, you remember obviously the Will Smith bit that happened a year or two ago, whatever it was. And I remember just thinking to myself, okay, this is happening in real time. At first I'm thinking this is a work, right? But then like 2 seconds, 3 seconds later, I'm like, oh my God, this is a shoot. I mean, again, it was unexpected and it was not planned, but just for the sake of the
That might have
argument,
saved
if
the
it was
Oscars. That
planned-
might have saved the Oscars, that moment.
Yeah, but then again, it's like you see Denzel Washington going up to him like when the cameras were off, and he's like, "Yo, man, you can't be doing this right now, brother. You're a big deal here, especially when you're getting your first Oscar." Which I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Oscars revoke his
Yeah, they did.
award, and he couldn't?
He's banned.
Now that he can't perform in like the whatever the film association for like 10 years.
Yeah, he's banned.
I think you know what? That was a work. Fuck it. I think it was a work.
I think it might have been.
I think it's a work.
It might have been a plan by. I think not. I don't think so. But go ahead. Yeah, was it a ritual? Some kind of, maybe they were embarrassing Chris Rock.
No.
Not
a
Will.
ritual.
Don't do this
Not
to
a
Will.
ritual. I think it was a desperate attempt to do something to make the Oscars watchable, and that's exactly what this was. Let's create some sort of buzz. People will be talking about this, and people are still talking about the slap. And you know what they'll be talking about? Oh, the slap, how that came from the Oscars. Oh my God, the Oscar. It's all about trying to make the Oscars relevant again. But you know what? They could have a fucking full on, everybody in the fucking audience just starts having sex with each other. Nobody cares about the Oscars. Nobody cares about it. So do these stunts. It's not gonna work.
Material that writes itself, Robin could literally amplify.
I wish we had a fucking I just wish we had a fucking Owen Hart moment.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you, dude?
Well,
what is wrong with you, dude?
Well, we're gonna.
Hey, you're really drunk, Rube.
That's pretty good. We're gonna have a moment now when we end the show. Guys, thanks for being on tonight. You were great. I had fun, and also to that Randall, he was great on the call tonight. He had a wonderful microphone. Good job. Call more often. Yeah, we can make fun of your own black brothers. Is that what you're gonna do?
Maybe he was white.
You guys all do the same thing, huh? Just look at the Chicago stats.
Oh no, you just love burying people. By the way, Luke, do you make a good breakfast sandwich at Wawa? Just out of curiosity.
I don't make the food. I don't make the food. I sit at the register. No, I sit at the register, or I take out the trash, or I do or I do gas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need, actually, you know what? I'm about to go to Wawa right now, and get myself a ass breakfast sandwich. That sounds good.
If you see somebody wearing a Wawa pizza shirt, make sure that you do the most obnoxious, annoying thing and go, so Wawa sells pizza now, right? Oh my God! Let me tell you, and I know I'm gonna regret. I know I'm gonna regret this. I know I'm gonna regret this.
And just be like, my brother, it's a miracle. It's a damn miracle.
I know I'm gonna regret this because of King of Hueco Mundo and Pico, but every time I wear the stupid Wawa shirt that has the I Heart Pizza, you don't even understand. Every time I wear it, someone comes up to me and goes, so you love pizza, huh? Were you the pizza man? They say something along those lines, and let me tell you, every time I hear it, I want to reach across the so pissed off. I'm fucking up on all of my words, but I want to reach across the counter and fucking bash their face into the fucking counter and laughing while I do it. I want to just continuously bash their face in and go, yeah, we do have pizza, you fucking, and just, oh my God. I wish their blood was I wish their blood was on the floor. You understand me? Every time they tell that joke. So it's not funny.
Puke.
King of Hueco Mundo, fuck you. All right. The show.
I wonder how much Wawa can Tommy stuff himself before throwing up?
Probably a few plates of pizza.
Hey Tommy, Wawa is the noise that Crystal makes when she has to stretch open her mouth to suck a cock.
No, Wawa's the noise your mother made last night. Puke.
Oh my God, puke is
You're
what you
like
do in a toilet.
puke. You like puke in the toilet.
Dude, that killed me last night. I almost died.
No, it was hilarious because it followed my line. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Debe stuffs little Debbie's in her cunty," and then just
would be
he's like, "You're
horrible
like
to find the
puke
toilet.
in
See,
a
that's the thing
toilet."
is that was funny, and then he said that, and I almost fucking died, bro. Like it was.
Joe got hit by the combo. He got hit by the fucking ultimate combo.
Was that on Monetize This or I don't remember?
Yeah,
it was
you
a combo
timestamped
of
it.
positivity.
Oh my god, bro! It almost
You
killed me.
timestamped it.
Oh yeah,
I also
oh here it is. I got it right here.
You asshole.
Yeah,
Go learn vocabulary.
Debe shoves little Debbies in her fucking cunty.
I'm gonna shove my 12-inch electric dick up your ass.
That's a whole other honey
Puke.
bun.
God, what is happening?
Puke, you belong in the toilet just like puke.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, I lost that on that. I don't know, man.
That was me when he went last week when he goes, oh, Nerdy's trying to be Seth Rollins. It's just so stupid. Just so stupid. And he says it exactly like how somebody who molests children would say, like, I don't molest children, puke. I don't
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Oh my God, brother. Peace out. Don't forget, guys. Me and Jake. It's up right now. Guys, do you want to listen to something right now to go to bed? You want to listen to Jake DeMarco and me? We recorded a 40-minute podcast for you guys. It's up on Patreon. The Jake and Joe podcast is back. You can catch us tomorrow on Out of Nowhere right here. Probably around 9 or 10 o'clock. Probably 10 o'clock tomorrow night right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Come check it out. There's the Patreon post right there. Me and Jake, 40 minutes. It's up. The Jake and Joe podcast back on Patreon behind the paywall. Talked about a lot of things. Jake talked about Naked Cena. It's up right now, guys. If you're a patron, you can go listen to it right now, even for $1. Go check it out. Give us that support and go listen to it en masse if you can. And let us know you want that more, and we'll bring it on. We'll bring it on. We'll bring it on. Don't you like that? You gotta love it. That's it, man. We're out. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight, especially Ghost from the Coast, who was the top donator with $50. A little bit of a quiet night on the donations, but not too bad either, to be honest. Good shit. 20, not bad, man. A lot of people. D. Welsh, Retro Neon, Young Mellow, Matt Cologne. Young Mellow said, "What's funny about Cena coming on stage naked?" I thought that was funny. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. All that matters is everybody's talking about it, and 19 million people saw it. That's all they wanted, I think. You know, is, oh, man, 19 million people are going to see this shit. And, you know, they got what they wanted there. So I guess that's all that. That's what they wanted. You know? What should we do? I don't know what to do. All right. Get hard, everybody. Get hard and get weird. Oh my God, brother. What should I do? Oh my God, brother.
ready to suck these nuts?
Coming back again, why do you lay playing around with my neuroscope of reality? I can feel it all start sipping, I think I'm breaking down. And why do you like playing around with my neuroscope of reality? I can feel it all start sipping away. See, but I don't get it, don't you think? Maybe we can put it on credit, don't you think? If we can talk about a minute, so you do me boy, so you do me boy. We can put it on credit, don't you think? If we can talk another minute, so you do me boy, so you do me boy.
Oh yeah. Suck it.
Not the people in the left wing, not the people in the right wing, not the people in the underground. I found myself stupefied, coming back again. All the people in the high rise, and all the people in the projects, and all the Hindi in the barrio. I found myself stupefied, coming back again. Why do you like playing around with my neuroscope of reality? I can feel it all start sipping, I think I'm breaking down. And why do you like playing around with my neuroscope of reality? I can feel it all start sipping away. See, but I don't get it, don't you think? Maybe we can put it on credit, don't you think? If we can talk about a minute, so you stupid boy, so you stupid boy. I don't get it, don't you think? Maybe we can put it on credit, don't you think? If we can talk about a minute, so you stupid boy, so you stupid boy.
Oh my God, brother.